after Ingebrigtsen, who makes the save. Now a scramble here, and the puck comes back out. Nick Schultz has it, he'll fire, and that got blocked. And it's a race the other way for Braden Waller. Waller in, backhander, save! Crusaders finished second in Class A last year after winning the state title the year before. Now it's back behind the net. Here is Evan Klemick feeding it out toward Will Draper, and a shot and a goal! Albertville clears, the Cardinals keep it in. Schultz back toward Grady Olson, the puck tipped over along the wall. 3-1, St. Michael Albertville in front as we approach the midpoint of the hockey game. Here's a shot and another goal! But it gets deflected by Cathedral over along the left half wall. The Cardinals try to keep it in, and they do. Here's Owen Klemick. He'll send a backhander in front. Scramble, shot and a goal! Now a centering pass, and that got tipped away, I believe, by Will Draper over to the left wall. The Knights will keep it in as it's going to be played over to Burness. He'll fire across, and a one-timer and another. Alexandria will get a brief power play. Joey Cullen trying to work his way through, and his pass got tipped. Now back out front, and now Brody Bird comes away with it for Lang. Our play-by-play coverage originates this evening from the Red River Valley of the North, specifically the Moorhead Sports Center for opening night of the Section 8AA Boys Hockey Tournament. This section produced the state champion last winter. In fact, that defending state champion is the one hosting the Alexandria Cardinals tonight. It's Moorhead and Alexandria in the quarterfinals in Section 8AA. The 1 seed versus the 8 seed. Many people that are coming into the Moorhead Sports Center tonight are fully expecting the host Spuds to come out on top. Of course, with Alexandria, in my mind, it's a situation of everything to gain and nothing to lose. Frankly, not a lot of people are expecting Alexandria to give Moorhead a competitive push tonight, but the Cardinals are not just here to mail it in. They're ready to play, and they're looking forward to the task at hand tonight inside the Moorhead Sports Center. We welcome you to our Jutna Motors pregame show as we come to you on location from Moorhead, Minnesota. Let me introduce the people that are helping to make tonight's broadcast possible on our platforms, including KXRA Radio in Alexandria, where Steve D is the main man in master control. For our Voice of Alexandria YouTube broadcast tonight, we've got our videographer, JP Boleen. He is not unfamiliar with being involved in key hockey playoff games. 2018 graduate from Alexandria Area High School. He was part of the Cardinals state tournament team in 2017-18 that finished second in Class A. And then the announcing crew tonight is myself, KXRA Sports Director Dave McClurg, also known as DMAC, and my broadcast partner I like to affectionately refer to as JJ. That is the man with 2 first names, one Jeff James. And Jeff, great to be reconnecting with you. I don't know if it worked out in your schedule to have any family time. I know your daughter, I think Kylie, is just mere miles away over at Concordia College right now, and Landon might even be up here in the area, but we do welcome you to the Moorhead Sports Center. I thought for good measure we would switch sides here compared to where we were for the girls hockey broadcast.
Yeah, staying away from the band, which I don't know if they're going to be here tonight, but it was a good call. We got another great view from here, but it's good to be with you, and no family time this time, and Landon's actually back at doing one of the high school activities back in Alexandria, doing his internship for his master's in athletic training. So he's been working with Heartland the last couple of months. So
excellent.
Yeah.
So we've got a situation at hand here where we've got a matchup between 2 teams that played in December. I think it was a little more than 2 months ago. So somewhere around 9 weeks, 9.5, 10 weeks or so. And Moorhead came into Alexandria's building and won pretty convincingly, but again, that seems so long ago, and I would guess, both of these teams have gotten better. Now, one might debate the level of improvement that these teams have made, but Alexandria definitely is going to be an underdog for tonight's game, but this is why they play the game. I mean, it's not a given that the number 1 seed is going to knock off the number 8 seed every time out.
Right. Yeah, and if it was that way, they'd just say, okay, we're not playing this game. Moorhead, you move on. Alexandria, they have a shot. I mean, it might not be a great statistical shot, but everybody that laces up the skates and plays the game, you can't just say that Moorhead's going to walk away with this. It is an underdog situation for Alexandria, but I would probably much rather be in that position because I think the pressure's all on that other side of the rink over there because they're defending state 2A champions.
Yeah, we noticed this big orange banner right in front of us here.
In front of us.
Remind fans that do come to the Moorhead Sports Center, by the way, this is the home of the team that won the 2025 Big School State title in Minnesota, and Moorhead has been able to proudly display that since getting it back in March of 2025. I would think, we have a situation here. In my mind, if Alexandria can hang with a very high-scoring Moorhead team, if this can be a one-goal game into the middle stretch of the hockey game and, maybe even keep it within, so that Moorhead doesn't get too far ahead out in front of us, it would be fun to see this game be somewhat competitive going into period number 3.
Absolutely, and I think that's the key to every underdog success is if you can keep them within arm's reach, the later this game goes, I think it becomes more of a toss-up at that point. So.
And I know just from watching this Alexandria boys hockey team 7 days ago, don't quit on the Cardinals.
No.
They might be down certain deficits. I think they overcame their biggest third-period deficit last Tuesday, rallying for 4 goals in the final 7.5 minutes of regulation time to ultimately come away with a 5-5 tie. And that's, I think, regardless of how the season comes to an end, whether it be tonight or sometime later, I think that's going to be one of the characteristics of this Alexandria team, that they show grit, they don't quit, and they just have a great competitive spirit. And I hope we see that tonight, regardless of what the final on the scoreboard might say later.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations where, Alexandria is not, to my, the games that we've watched, I haven't seen them give up one iota throughout the whole season. And, to go through a section schedule like they did and keep their enthusiasm, that's tough. That's tough for kids to do. This is a special group of kids, and they're the start of what could be, don't know, but it could be a long run in Section 8AA, and I think they've started it out really well for Alexandria and the community.
So we've got the play-by-play at the top of the hour of Alexandria versus Moorhead in the quarterfinal round of the Section 8AA Boys Hockey Tournament. Our thanks to all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage helping to bring you tonight's broadcast of Section 8AA Boys Hockey live from the Moorhead Sports Center. Big thanks to Junkner Motors for being the presenting sponsor of our pregame show. We're going to take our first time out now during the Junkner Motors pregame. My conversation with Dr. Landon Olson, the head coach of the Alexandria boys hockey team, follows this timeout.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving.
I'm looking for people who have experience and are willing to work hard. For those that do, you can earn up to 6 figures working for my company. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CIRAC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
Welcome back to the Moorhead Sports Center as we continue with more of our Jotna Motors pregame show. The second season begins tonight for the Alexandria Cardinal Boys Hockey team. They're one of 8 playing in the section, and the Cardinals' road trip is to the Moorhead Sports Center for a matchup against the Spuds in the Section 8AA quarterfinals. Our pregame coach's comments feature is being brought to you by Alamere Health. It's better here. DMAC joined right now by Dr. Landon Olson, the head coach of the Alexandria Boys Hockey team. Landon, our crew was up in Detroit Lakes last week on Tuesday to watch and broadcast a real nice comeback by your team. I think down 4 goals with about 7.5 minutes to go or something like that, and your kids popped 4 in to ultimately create a tie, and that ended up being a 5-5 overtime tie. I would think probably one of the more exciting comebacks this year for a team that has been known to come back frequently this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a game where I was really proud of how our boys handled it, how they responded. It was 2-1 going into the third, and first 5 minutes we kind of gave up some where it was uncharacteristic goals against, and to our guys' credit, nobody on the bench got down, nobody got negative. Everybody just said, hey, we just need one. We need one, and Miles Breitzman gets the first one with, I think, 7.5 minutes left, and you could feel the belief, and then we had a big penalty kill with about 5 minutes left. And then, we got that third goal, and you could tell on the bench we were going to get the next 2 pretty quick, and we did. We ended up with 2 goals in the last minute, 3 in the last 2.5, and that was a huge momentum builder for us.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because of the timeliness of the third goal. That did leave you some time on the clock to actually put together a rally where you were able to pull Brady Schluter. I think in both instances when your team scored goals 4 and 5, they had 6 attackers on the bench. Have you ever been in that situation, Landon, either as a coach or as a player, where you have 2 pulled goalie situations where you end up scoring if you're the team on attack?
Yeah, I have a few times. I mean, we had one earlier this year against St. Cloud. We get 2 goals. They ended up not being the tying goals, right? We pull the goalie, make it 4-3, and then they get an empty net goal pretty quick after. And then we pull the goalie again, we make it 5-4, and then they got another empty net at the end. But it happens, and 6 on 5, it's just so much on getting pucks to the net, controlling pucks, and then just being hounds in front of the net and making sure the goalie can't see it and creating chaos. And And that's exactly what happened up in Detroit Lakes.
It's interesting, Landon, because once your team scored the first goal with the sixth attacker, I think that made it 5-4, and you can refresh my memory. It might be a little bit inaccurate here, but I think your team took the timeout at that point, and I would guess some of the strategy that was being discussed was to find a way to get the puck into the other end so that you could get Brady off the ice once more. In terms of execution, could it have gone any better than what you guys did winning that face-off after cutting the deficit to 1?
Yeah, no, I mean, everything about that last 2.5 minutes went to plan, right? We, once we get the third one with 2.5 minutes, I think that's when I called the timeout. And we kind of went over some stuff, and then we scored. Then we scored with 59 seconds left, and maybe I did call the timeout after that. I don't remember 100%. It's kind of a blur. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the bench, like we need to win the puck, and as soon as we can, we get the puck deep. And then Brady was halfway out as soon as the puck was dropped, and once that puck crossed the red line, Brady came. We had the sixth attacker, and frankly, I don't know if he got on the ice by the time we scored it. We talked in the locker room how we needed to get screenshots, get guys in front of the net, and then our D just needed to shoot the puck and just try to get it past their first guy, and that's how 2 of the last 3 goals went in.
And ultimately, your team creates the 5-5 tie. Nearly had one more scoring opportunity, I think, right at the end of regulation. I think there was a centering pass out front, but unfortunately time ran out, and ultimately no scoring in the 8 minutes. It is strange, Landon, that deadlock over in Detroit Lakes was the only tie during the regular season, but heading back home for an hour-and-a-half bus ride, did you get the feeling that the guys, maybe not satisfied, but feeling pretty good about what they were able to accomplish, because it was looking for a while that was going to be a loss for the Cards?
Yeah, we were happy with how we responded, not happy with the outcome. And there's a big difference there. You always want to win every game you play, but we were really happy and proud and pleased with us battling and ended up getting the tie. And it's a game like that can really push you and propel you into playoffs, and that's what we're hoping for.
The regular season finale came against the Monticello Moose on Friday night at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. Unfortunately, your team wasn't able to continue the momentum off of Tuesday night into Friday. Now, to its credit, Monty is seated pretty high in its section, I think getting the number 2 behind St. Cloud Cathedral. How do you sum up what you saw in the regular season finale?
Yeah, Monticello is a good team. They play a really fast game. They play hard, they play physical, got some skill guys. Do I think we played better than the 2-0 and then an empty net make it 3-0 game? Absolutely, we did. But, sometimes you just live and learn. You come off a high like Tuesday night of really battling back, and sometimes that next game kind of goes that way. That's okay. Now we start the new season, and we take off from here.
We are getting together with Dr. Landon Olson, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal Boys Hockey team, as part of our Jotna Motors pregame show. On the way at the top of the 7 o'clock hour, the Section 8 AA Boys Hockey quarterfinal game between Alexandria and Moorhead, live from the Moorhead Sports Center. You'll be able to watch the game on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube, or stay tuned to People Radio, KXRA, for play-by-play coverage. Jeff James and I will have the broadcast for you coming up in just a little while. The bracketing got done over the weekend, Landon. When you had the opportunity to, determine your case for where you feel your team might get seeded for the section tournament, was that all done on a face-to-face basis with the other coaches in the section, or was it a conference call or a Zoom meeting?
Nope, none of that. Just email in. We just email in where we think everybody's at. Section 8, I think they do a pretty good job of it. Everything is based off how you do against the other section opponents. We all have such different schedules. Different conferences so we're required to play other teams, and so you look at how everybody did against each other, and it was unfortunate for us, frankly, because we let a couple slip away from us early in the year, and games I feel like we should have won against section opponents. So we kind of knew where we were going to be. We knew we were going to be in this situation after our first Brainerd game. It's kind of like, okay, this is our reality, and now we just move forward and we do it. And so yeah, it's all email, 1 through 8 or 1 through 7, because you can't rank yourself, and but it all goes off section section opponents, and we win one of those games against Brainerd, win one against St. Cloud, our STMA game in overtime instead of the 8 seed, we're probably the 5 seed. That's a big difference.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I do want to ask, and this might be kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but I'm guessing that some of the framework for the schedule next winter is probably being put into place here. Some of the different dynamics, Bemidji becomes a conference member next year, so I don't know if Alexandria will go home and away with Bemidji. I'm sure the Lumberjacks wouldn't mind having Alexandria on the schedule 2 times rather than 1. But my question for you, Landon, is in an ideal situation, can the Cardinals play the Roseau Rams next winter, whether it be up in near Canada or have Roseau come down to Alexandria?
Yeah, our schedule's done. We got 1 game to fill still, but we got all the section teams, so we head up to Roseau. This year most of the section teams came to us, so next year we go to Roseau, go to Moorhead, go to Elk River, go to STMA, and then we have home and homes with Brainerd, St. Cloud, and Bemidji. So we have a really strong schedule next year, and it should really challenge us in a lot of good ways.
I know that there have been some really good Class A opponents that were on the schedule this year. You look at Orono and St. Cloud Cathedral and Northern Lakes, the team that knocked Alexandria out of the playoffs last year. Will one or more of those teams leave Alexandria's schedule next winter?
If I remember correctly, at least one does. And that was just Orono wanted to get some of their other section teams in because most teams are going to that now where like you're going to rank yourself off section opponents, not off QRF or anything else. So they needed to get some more section games in, and we understand it. And we filled it with a pretty good team. So yeah, at least Orono. I believe the other ones are still on though.
The Moorhead Spuds are getting set to host Alexandria in the Section 8 AA quarterfinal. Obviously, your team had a head-to-head meeting against the Spuds, but it was maybe 3.5 weeks into the regular season. Obviously, your team has progressed since then. I would presume that Moorhead has progressed pretty well since then. A 21-3 record would be indicative of that. But do you take a whole lot of stock in that December 11th game in Alexandria, or is it almost a full season ago now that both teams probably have improved to some certain extent?
Both. So you don't take the outcome into it because it was early in the season. We're a completely different team. They're a different team. But what you do take out of it is the allure of Moorhead. This is the first time our guys have played them in high school since. I played them in high school, but man, that was almost 20 years ago now. We weren't in their section at that point. And most of our guys haven't played them in youth or played their AA team in youth. And then you look at some of the names on there and you're like, oh man, they got, whoever. So I think it was really good for us to kind of see them and be like, hey, they're just high school kids. And we can play with them and get that out of our head. And now we move forward and realize it's just one game, and it takes one special moment to create a big change.
I don't know what the pregame conversation is with your boys, but I would think most everybody that comes into this building is anticipating seeing Moorhead come through. I think the Spuds fans would be very disappointed if their postseason run this year does not extend multiple games, but you don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about the game at hand tonight. How have your players been approaching it since they found out that indeed they get to go to Moorhead to have the opportunity to knock the Spuds out?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like I said, we realized it after our first Brainerd game, so that was 4 weeks ago. Because we only had one section game left. Everybody else had already won 2 games. And we talked about it in the locker room after that game, that this is our reality. And there's 2 ways you can go. You can either just fold and be like, oh man, we gotta play Moorhead, or you look at it and say, yeah, we get to play Moorhead, and we're gonna take it to them. We're gonna show a lot of people who we are, that we're a much better team than an 8 seed. And it's playoff hockey. Anything can happen. And that's been the message all week is, throughout hockey history, but throughout history, there's been a lot of times where, somebody who perceivably doesn't have a big chance really comes in and shuts up a pretty big contender, and that's what we're looking for tonight. And the look in our eyes, when we were talking pregame a little bit ago, the look in some of our players' eyes was, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're coming here to prove to a lot of people who we are and to knock a really good team out.
Obviously, the challenge is great for your Alexandria team, but Landon, on the ice, what has to happen here for the Alexandria Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, on the ice, the big things are slowing their game down. Their speed and skill game. Their top two lines are, we know what they are. They're very good. Their top defenseman loves to move up and play, but they love to control the puck. So our goal tonight, from a defensive standpoint, is to force them to dump pucks in and have to go chase those pucks down, not give them any speed and room through the neutral zone, and make them play a really slow, unskilled game, and then we take control of our chances and put pucks on net when we get those opportunities, and then you can see what happens, right? It's just a hockey game. The rink is the same size, the nets are the same size, and we're all high school kids. Anything can happen. We have zero pressure on us. They got a lot on them, especially after last year, and the guys that decided to come back and announced, the day before the season that they were going to repeat as the state champions. They got pressure. We don't have anything.
That's a great mindset to have, Landon. I am glad that your players have it as well. Best wishes to you and the Alexandria Cardinal Boys Hockey team. I've enjoyed our conversations during pre-games for broadcasts throughout the year. Let's hope we have the opportunity to do that again this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have another one on Saturday, hopefully.
Excellent. There's Dr. Landon Olson, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal Boys Hockey team. Our pregame coach's comments during our Jotner Motors pregame show have been brought to you by Alamere Health. It's better here.
And we do thank you for joining us for our Jotner Motors pregame show. We're going to wrap it up with that. We're just moments away from the play-by-play, but right now on our platforms, including Leighton Media, KXRA Radio, and the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube, we enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Join life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard, we build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
At ALP Utilities, we're proud to be a community-owned public power and water utility. That means local decisions, reliable service, and reinvesting in Alexandria. From classrooms to sidelines, we're proud to be a part of the moments that bring our community together.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new and used equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, RX Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving.
I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
The North, Alexandria Cardinal Boys Hockey is on the air as you enjoy it on our platforms tonight, including Leighton Media, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM. Audio through the Voice of Alexandria app, and we've got the live video streaming on our YouTube channel. Big thanks to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of our Alexandria Cardinals Sports Play-by-Play. The lineups are being brought to you by Alamere Health. It's better here. Senior goaltender Brady Schluter will get the start tonight to begin the postseason. The defensive partners in front of him will include senior Aiden Schneiderhan and sophomore Brolin McPhail. And then an all-senior forward line for the Cardinals, centered by Evan Klimek, a 20-point scorer, Brody Berg, a 22-point scorer, and Miles Breitzman, a 10-point scorer. Alexandria being guided by head coach Dr. Landon Olson. The Cardinals completed the regular season at 11-13-1. The Alamere Health starting lineup for the host Moorhead Spuds will have sophomore Will Arnold in goal tonight. The defensive partners will include Brandon Mickelson, a senior, and Zach Devig, a junior. Mickelson has scored more than 50 points as a defenseman for Moorhead. The front line will include Max Cullen as a center, a 50-point scorer, Zach Zimmerman, a 53-point scorer, and Titan Bergeson, a 59-point scorer. John Ammerman is the head coach at his alma mater, Moorhead High School. The Spuds went 4-0 in the Mariucci Conference this year and 21-3 overall with one tie during the regular season. Now we invite you to enjoy our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. It is going to be performed live tonight by the Moorhead High School Pep Band. Our anthem is being brought to you by Carlson Music Center in Alexandria. For any and all of your music needs, including voice lessons for students, visit online at carlsonmusiccenter.com. And now we will hear the sounds of the Moorhead High School Pep Band with our national anthem. The presentation of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, brought to you by Carlson Music Center in Alexandria. It's better here. Keys to tonight's game driven by Alexandria Motors. Together, let's drive with Alexandria Motors. Dr. Landon Olson pointed it out during our pregame show just a little while ago. Try to neutralize Moorhead's speed. They'll try to go from zone to zone using their quickness. And Alexandria is going to try to make sure that Moorhead will do a more dumping of the puck into the zone and create the line changes rather than skating end to end.
You've been watching a lot of curling with the stone comment there?
That could be, yes. I've got the Olympics on the brain
there you
tonight.
Go.
Meanwhile, the Moorhead Spuds, they want to move the ball. Now I've got football on the brain, so we'll get all these
D-Mac, you're there. You're the greatest.
Yeah, so anyway, the Spuds really want to move up and down the ice. Their speed is one of their biggest assets, and they want to, not only utilize that speed, but find a way to get on top. They do realize that they are the favorite in this game, but the longer the perceived or real underdog hangs around as this game goes deeper, the more that the underdog gets confidence to try to pull off what would be a gargantuan upset in Minnesota high school hockey. The opening face-off is controlled by Moorhead, and the Spuds do play it in. Aiden Schneiderhan is going to steer it around now to his defensive partner, Brolin McPhail. Moorhead looking to put on the early pressure here. Puck gets cycled back behind goaltender Brady Schluter. Now looking to do some work is Zach Zimmerman along the wall. It's going to be played over toward the left wall. Moorhead will keep it in. It's going to come over to the right side, and a shot, save made, as the shot was taken by Zach Devig. Now Alexandria is going to play the puck back to neutral ice, and Moorhead will regroup. Alexandria will try to change personnel and get some different people on the ice. I believe the Aaron Anderson, Will Thornburg, Owen Klimek forward line is on the ice right now. The Cardinals will change their D partners as Captain Nick Schultz will be joined by Rogan Anderson on the ice for Alexandria. Early minutes of tonight's game at the Moorhead Sports Center. 0-0 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Now the Spuds will play the puck back into the Alexandria end. Here is Rogan Anderson playing it over toward Schultz. Schultz will try to steer it out of the zone, and he does, playing it back to neutral ice. Redirected here by one of Moorhead's defensemen, Finn Paulson. Now Alexandria will play it back a little bit deeper into the Moorhead end. Now the Cardinals are going to look to get a shot off as it comes in front of the goaltender, Will Arnold. And the puck sent back over to the left corner, and Moorhead will redirect it the other way. Now the Spuds, John Grammer will try to get possession of the puck. Grammer, Evan Warner, and Joey Cullen are a line combination for the Moorhead Spuds. Alexandria will play a puck off the left wall in the defensive zone and send it to the other end. And almost 2 minutes into the game, we have our first icing of the night. Faceoff will come to the left of the goaltender, Brady Schluter. Schluter 7-8-1 during the regular season. Goals against average of 3.22. Save percentage at .871. He did have a couple of shutouts during the regular year. Off the faceoff, a shot gets whistled wide by Moorhead's defenseman, Grady Huteri. Now another centering pass, this time to Devig, and his shot is saved by goaltender Schluter. Now it's played back to neutral ice. Moorhead is going to send it back in. Puck is tipped off the stick of an Alexandria player. Now cycled around. Connor Wang sends it toward Will Draper. Now to Brody Berg. He nearly turned it over in the defensive zone, but now an outlet pass goes back to neutral ice, and Moorhead will send it back in. Goaltender Brady Schluter will slow it up here for Draper. Draper will play it out, and this will go all the way to the other end, and another icing call. Stopping play with 14:23 to go. First period, Glenwood State Bank brings you our scoreboard updates, and right now we've got donuts on the board. Alexandria nothing, Moorhead nothing.
Alexandria's really trying to do exactly what their game plan is use the body, slow these speedsters down. But the other thing that I really like, D-Mac, is where we're sitting, we kind of get to see things progress, and we get to see things develop, and how much Schluter is being screened or not.
Right.
I really kind of like the way we're able to see how things are progressing here.
And from our vantage point, like it or not, Moorhead's going to be attacking into our end in the first period and again in the third period. Hopefully that means some Brady Schluter saves as we go through both of those periods. So Alexandria is attacking to the east end of the Moorhead Sports Center in periods 1 and 3. Now the puck back behind the net. Drew Corton is trying to get it free for the for the Spuds, and now a pass gets intercepted. Tyden Bergeson looking for some room to shoot. He's got it out near the point. Now will float over to the left side. Bergeson looking to walk in. Centers it in front, but not handled cleanly by Brandon Mickelson. So Moorhead will then play it back into the right corner. Now Aiden Schneiderhan will steer it ahead toward Owen Klimek. Klimek trying to do some work along the wall. Then he feeds now to teammate Aaron Anderson, and it's played back to neutral ice. And it's going to be tipped off a Moorhead player's stick to the other end. We are nearly 4 minutes now into the first period. Alexandria has yet to get a shot on goal. Moorhead has 2 shots on goal. Brady Schluter has a couple of saves. And we are tied at 0-0 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Alexandria once again playing the puck out of their own end. Moorhead will need to get back onside, and the Spuds will look to come rushing in. Here is Devig. He'll feed it off, and a shot gets tipped off the stick of Evan Warner, steered away by Brady Schluter. Now Moorhead looking to set it up. It comes back out to the point. Now over to the right side. Devig has it. Now it's taken by Finn Paulson. Now a shot from a tough angle, and the save is made on John Grammer's shot. Now the Spuds will look to play it off the back wall in front. Nick Schultz digging for it here for the Alexandria Cardinals. Sending it over to Rogan Anderson. Now up ahead to Benno Waldorf. Waldorf, Harlan Ream, and Grady Olson form a forward line combination for Alexandria tonight. Now back behind the net. Here is Warner trying to basically jam it. Maybe try to get it off of Schluter where he was not expecting it. But JJ, Brady did a nice job locating that puck.
Yeah, he had everything sealed off and was able to get stops. And that's the thing that you're going to want to do as the Cardinals. You're going to want to get as many whistles as you possibly can. It just breaks up the flow for Moorhead. Do as much as you can to keep things in front of you.
Face-off is won by the Alexandria Cardinals. Evan Klimek is going to play it ahead to Brody Berg. Berg gets behind one player, and now Berg gets sent to the ice, and play will continue on. Evidently no penalty there. Now Alexandria trying to operate in the Moorhead Spuds zone. You've got the Brody Berg, Evan Klimek, Miles Breitzman. Forward line on the ice right now for Alexandria. They are joined by D partners Will Draper and Connor Wang. Still no score. We've played a little more than 5 minutes of the opening period here at the Moorhead Sports Center. Dave McClurg, Jeff James bringing you the play-by-play, and JP Boleen is our videographer tonight for our Leighton Media presentation. Now here's Owen Klimek handling the puck over in the corner in the defensive zone. He's going to send it up toward Connor Wang. Wang will skate across the blue line, and now it's going to be steered ahead by Aaron Anderson toward the Moorhead blue line, and now the Spuds look to skate the other way. Alexandria intercepts the pass in neutral ice. Now the Cardinals will backhand it over into the Moorhead end, and the Spuds will look to regroup. Again, Moorhead is wearing the white jersey sweaters, the black breezers, the orange and black trim on the Moorhead uniform. Here's a walk in by Titan Bergeson, and then his centering pass got broken up. Alexandria is going to take it, and it's going to be played out of the zone, and Moorhead again will have to get back on side. Here comes Bergeson working in for the Spuds. He's got it right side. Now it comes in front for Zach Zimmerman, but the pass for him is broken up, and Alexandria clears it back into neutral ice. We're now 6.5 minutes into the first period. 10.5 remaining. So far no score on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Zimmerman has it for Moorhead. Now he gets spun around. Now a shot attempt got tipped off the stick of Harlan Ream. Now Ream will look to apply the body on one of Moorhead's forwards, Max Cullen. Alexandria gains possession of the puck. Ream is going to send it ahead toward Grady Olson. Olson trying to work in, but that pass went too long, and Grady was not able to track it down, and we ended up having a stoppage, and icing, I believe, is going to be the ruling here, as we'll have a face-off coming in the Alexandria end with 10:08 to go in the first period.
Alexandria is doing a great job, too, of not running around in their own defensive end. When they seem to be, like, getting hemmed in a little bit, they almost go into, like, a penalty kill mode and take responsibility of their areas. And I'm not sure if that's a setup or not, but good job by Alexandria. Blocking shots as well.
Moorhead able to win the draw, and here comes the shot from Joey Cullen right on goaltender Brady Schluter, and he'll end up making the save, and another face-off will be forthcoming. And yeah, it's important, especially against a team with a lot of speed like Moorhead. You cannot be caught spectating on the ice.
Right, and if you're running around, they're going to expose that. They're going to find an open guy for sure. So, you know, if you feel like that's happening, just find a guy, cover him, and stay in your area.
Harlan Ream and John Grammer battling for the draw, and now the action along the wall. Moorhead is able to keep it in. Here's Joey Cullen out top in the slot area. He's going to send it over to the right side for Zach Devig. Now it comes to Joey Cullen, tries to make a spin move as we've got a pass that comes across. Now a shot save made by Schluter on the attempt there for Brandon Mickelson. Now Mickelson's going to try to walk his way into the slot area. Loose puck, it's going to be cleared away. Grady Olson is going to send it out to neutral ice, and he went with a diagonal pass, so it won't go all the way to the other end. Alexandria able to change some personnel here, as is Moorhead. We're now nearly 8 minutes into the opening period. It's Alexandria nothing, Moorhead nothing on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in this Section 8AA Boys Hockey quarterfinal. Win or go home for the Alexandria Cardinals and the Moorhead Spuds. Here is Titan Bergeson. He'll play it off the wall, and now winding up. Here's a shot, and that's a lead shot there as it hit one of the pipes. I believe Mickelson pulled the trigger on that last shot. Now looking to get the puck, Zach Zimmerman trying to backhand it toward Bergeson. Now Will Draper will cycle it around. It's kept in by Moorhead. Puck goes over to the left side now. Miles Breitzman was trying to work his way through, but it's going to be taken here. Shot, and a backhander is going to result in a goal for the Moorhead Spuds. Max Cullen will get the finish for Moorhead, and the hosts are on the board, taking a 1-0 lead.
You're just seeing the skill and the awareness that Moorhead has of where people are. Schluter did a heck of a job, trying to stay home, but when that person's coming across that crease that quick, it's very hard to get to that other side. But Alexandria now, how do you respond?
Yep, Moorhead gets the first goal. I believe Max Cullen will get his 21st of the year. I believe Titan Bergeson and Brandon Mickelson will get assists on the goal at 8:28 of the hockey game. So Moorhead goes on top with its 5th shot on goal. The Alexandria Cardinals clear the puck back the other way, but icing is going to be the call. And if you recall, JJ, we actually had the home game when Alexandria hosted Moorhead on December 11th. And there, it was just a 1-0 lead after one period. It was the second period where Moorhead got some separation.
Absolutely, and that's going to have to be the difference with this game. Is they're going to have to keep this tight as long as they can.
Here's a shot from a tough angle taken by Seamus Campbell. Campbell, Michael Herman, and Will Cullen helped to make a forward line for John Emmerman's Moorhead Spuds. 21-3-1 coming into the Section 8 AA tournament. Face off to Brady Schluter's left. Aaron Anderson will battle for the draw against the Spuds' Will Cullen. And the Moorhead boys hockey team does win the draw. Comes back out to the point. Titan Bergeson handling it. Now will take a shot, and that gets whistled wide. Puck comes off the back wall, and now Will Cullen gets met, and we're going to have the first penalty of the night coming to Alexandria. Delayed penalty until the Cardinals can touch the puck up. Moorhead now has 6 skaters on the ice with the goaltender pulled. Now, if Moorhead can score before the before the Alexandria touch-up, that nullifies the penalty, but still Moorhead is adding to its lead here, and the Spuds now take a 2-0 advantage.
And that was Titan Bergeson there, D-Mac. Little bit of trivia with him is his mother is Rachel Bergeson, the athletic director at Concordia. I know her.
Very good.
I believe she has some relatives in Alexandria with the last name of Burgow. So.
Oh, okay. Yep, for Titan Bergeson, it's going to be his 23rd goal of the year. And again, Alexandria was going to have a delayed penalty, but because the Spuds scored before Alexandria touched the puck up, that means that the penalty gets taken off. So Alexandria will continue to have 5 skaters on the ice. Bennett Waldorf, Harlan Ream, and Grady Olson as the forwards. You've got Aiden Schneiderhan as one defenseman, and Roland McPhail out there as well.
I think the Moorhead coaching staff wanted to have a conversation about whether that should have been more than a 2 here, but it looks like it's going to be called just a 2, and nothing's going to go on the board. Nobody's going to go in the box.
So it ends up being a goal for Moorhead. And the Spuds at the 9:19 mark take a 2-0 lead. Titan Bergeson with his 23rd goal of the year. Drew Corton and Will Cullen will get the assists. So now the Spuds have doubled their advantage. They have outshot Alexandria 7-0 in the first 10 minutes of the game. Actually 9 minutes and change, because we still have 7:17 to go in the first period. Now the Cardinals trying to win a draw in the offensive zone, but Moorhead is going to steer it out. Now it's going to be played, and now Aiden Schneiderhan can't handle it. The backhander by Joey Cullen goes a little bit wide. Now John Grammer trying to do some work along the wall. Harlan Ream getting in there as well for Alexandria. Also, you've got Aiden Schneiderhan trying to gain possession. Moorhead has it. Here's a shot from the slot area. Save is made. Rebound comes over toward the right half wall. Joey Cullen will track it down for Moorhead. Then it goes to Brandon Mickelson. Now back to Joey Cullen. Joey Cullen taking a shot from a tough angle, and it may have been saved by Brady Schluter. I think he will get credit for the save there. His 6th of the night. Now a pass, and fanning on the attempt here was Evan Warner, and
Alexandria is going to get a power play.
Yep, Moorhead is about to go shorthanded for the first time in tonight's hockey game.
And I believe Warner's going to go to the box for tripping.
And the time of the infraction will be 10 minutes and 36 seconds of the opening period.
And for Alexandria, you have to do something with these. The odds of you getting a bunch of them may not be there. You have to do something with these special teams opportunities.
So the puck starts in the Moorhead zone. You've got Grady Olson along with Evan Klimek, Connor Wang, all on the ice. As part of the power play, Brody Berg is out there, and Will Thornburg as well. And now Moorhead trying to gain possession on the penalty kill in the Alexandria end. The Cardinals regain control. Will Thornburg will cross center ice and play the puck into the Moorhead zone as the Cardinals will try to set up. Again, Alexandria with a power play here as we are now 11 minutes into this first period. Moorhead 2, Alexandria no score on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Jeff James, Dave McClurg bringing you the play-by-play live from the Moorhead Sports Center. Moorhead plays the puck back. Connor Wang will look to break out. He's going to send a pass up toward Aaron Anderson. Aaron Anderson, Owen Klimek, and Evan Klimek are on the ice right now. You've got Connor Wang. Wang went to the bench for Nick Schultz, and also Aiden Schneiderhan out for this part of the power play. Now the puck gets played along the wall, kept in here by Schultz. He's going to send it across. Here's a shot and a save made for the goaltender Will Arnold, and that will be his 2nd of the night in nearly 12 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, Alexandria's having a little bit of difficult time due to the pressure that Moorhead's putting on them. And one thing that Moorhead's doing, they're sending a guy as soon as they get possession. They're not just trying to ice the puck. They're trying to look for a long shot there to get a breakaway or some sort of chance in the offensive end.
Face off to the right of the goaltender Will Arnold as Aaron Anderson was trying to win the draw for the Cardinals, but Moorhead plays it back the other way. Now Aiden Schneiderhan will send it across to Nick Schultz. Schultz will get it back to Schneiderhan, and he'll play it back into neutral ice. Now Alexandria will send it to the left side. Aaron Anderson playing it in now for Miles Breitzman, but the lead pass broken up by Moorhead. Schneiderhan will send it back into the Moorhead end. About 20 seconds to go in Alexandria's power play. We have under 5 minutes remaining in the first period. It's Moorhead 2, Alexandria no score in this Section 8AA quarterfinal. Winner moves on to play on Saturday in the section semifinals. Here is Connor Wang feeding it ahead to Nick Schultz. Unfortunately, Nick was shy of the red line before he fired the puck back in. And
I think they're going to say that it was not, because one was waving it off, so they're going to bring it back to center ice and call it here.
So face off right at the center line. So Harlan Ream will battle for the draw. Moorhead has just 3 seconds more to play shorthanded before getting back to full strength. And the Spuds will gain possession of the puck. Here is Max Cullen gaining the biscuit. Now he's going to send it in, and the pass too long. And we have a icing call on Moorhead, and the play will go back to the other end. The Cardinals presently have Harlan Ream, Grady Olson, and Bennett Waldorf as the forwards on the ice, joined by defensive partners Connor Wang and Will Draper. Moorhead 2, Alexandria no score in this Section 8AA boys hockey quarterfinal game. Face off to the left of goaltender Will Arnold. And the puck possession won by Moorhead. Now the Spuds play it out of the zone, looking to come in with a rush. Here's a pass across and a shot, and that one went behind the net, I believe. I almost called it a goal here,
right.
So, but it was redirected, and it went off the mesh behind the net. Now Alexandria breaking out. Here comes Connor Wang. He'll send it ahead now to Grady Olson. Grady Olson takes a shot. That gets whistled a little bit wide. The Cardinals trying to keep the puck in. Moorhead will send it back to neutral ice. Now back into the defensive zone where Rogan Anderson will play it toward Wang. Wang trying to play it off the wall here, sending it over toward Bennett Waldorf, but the pass intercepted, and Moorhead's going to look to set up. It comes across. Walking in is Max Cullen, and he had the puck tipped off his stick. Now it's back behind the net, taken here by Zach Zimmerman. Played out front by the Moorhead Spuds. Now in the slot area, and Harlan Ream trying to run some interference. Here's a pass across, and we're going to have a shot and a goal. Brandon Mickelson feeding it across the slot area toward Titan Bergeson, and Bergeson will get the finish, and Moorhead extends its lead. It's now 3-0 for the Spuds.
When Alexandria gets that, when Moorhead has a lot of that pressure and Alexandria feels like they can't break it out, they're kind of taking areas, but that's almost like a zone in football, and right now Moorhead's just picking that apart. So, you know, I think Alexandria is going to have to learn or either lean on trying to grab a guy and follow that guy or something but the zone situation isn't necessarily working right now.
So it is a 3-0 lead for Moorhead. Again, the number 1 seed. I believe Drew Corton will get an assist, as will Brandon Mickelson. So Mickelson now has a couple of helpers tonight. Mickelson, by the way, with 34 assists as a defenseman for the Spuds.
Yeah, he's a very active defenseman. He likes to push that puck up. Talking on the way up with Coach Krause, he was talking about how offensive-minded that defenseman is.
Yep, now the face-off won by Moorhead, but a pass gets intercepted by Will Thornburg. He's going to send it to Owen Klimek. Owen Klimek looks to put one on net, and that got steered back behind goaltender Will Arnold. Now Rogan Anderson will try to cycle it around. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period. It's Moorhead 3, Alexandria 0. Now the Spuds work in again, and the pass across the slot area broken up by Nick Schultz. Now Will Cullen will track it down back behind the net. He'll feed it across, and a shot save made by Schluter on the attempt there by John Grammer. Now Alexandria will end up icing the puck, and it will result in a face-off in the Cardinals zone with 2:06 to go first period.
The other thing that I've noticed too, D-Mac, is I know they have 10 shots up for Moorhead right now, but it sure feels like Brady's gotten more work than 10.
Yeah, because that would mean 3 goals. His save percentage would only be .700, and we're on the end with Brady right down below us here, and now he gets another save and then another save, so that should tack on a couple there anyway.
Yeah, they gave him one.
Maybe.
There we go. Yep. Now we got 12 up.
So now the puck over along the left wall. Bennett Waldorf trying to free it up here for the Cardinals. Evan Warner working in as well. Moorhead has it. Finn Paulson back out at the point. Now sending it over toward Joey Cullen. He gets met along the wall here by Harlan Ream. Pass goes across. Now it's going to be dropped into the corner in the right side of the Alexandria zone. Warner will feed in front, and a one-timer and a connection there for Joey Cullen, and Moorhead extends the lead. It's now 4-0 for the Spuds.
I mean, to think about how hard that is for Schluter. That puck was a one-timer up into the corner of the net. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous in a way.
Well, we are seeing why Moorhead has put together such a successful year in spite of working with that moniker as a defending state champion. And Moorhead has definitely not overlooked Alexandria tonight. The Spuds are off to a 4-0 advantage here. And now the puck is going to be dropped again. 15:35 will be the time of Moorhead's 4th goal. We believe Joey Cullen will get credit for the goal, which would be his 15th. And we're waiting to see who gets assists. And now we've got a whistle.
Maybe a little frustration on the part of the Cardinals here. And
yeah, I don't know if Brody Berg was the one mixing it up with a Moorhead player there, but Now, cooler heads prevail as the clock is stopped with 1:17 to go.
I haven't seen them. Oh, now they are going to say that they're going to take two people here, which is the right thing to do here.
So Berg will be going off for Alexandria, and I believe it might be
I think it was
Zach Devick for
15.
Moorhead. So coincidental minors coming at 15:43 of the first period. And I believe both players off for roughing. Brody Berg for Alexandria and Zach Devig for the Moorhead Spuds. So still 5-on-5 hockey. Puck gets worked around. Nick Schultz is going to play it now to Evan Klimek. Up ahead to Miles Breitzman. He'll skate in. Now we'll feed it off toward Klimek, and his backhander got blocked. Last minute of play now here in the opening period. Now the Spuds will work back in. Here's a centering attempt by Max Cullen, and that got broken up by Alexandria. Evan Klimek is going to send it over toward Connor Wang. Wang will work his way through neutral ice, up across center ice, and now will slide the puck back into the Moorhead zone. Half a minute remaining now in the first period with Moorhead up by 4. The Spuds the number 1 seed in Section 8 AA. Alexandria the number 8 seed. Now we've got a centering attempt, and working in is Zach Zimmerman, but his backhander got stopped. Now a puck in the slot area. The Cardinals trying to recover it, but it's Titan Bergeson who comes away with it. Now down to Max Cullen. He tried to feed out front for Zimmerman, and it got broken up. Now we've got a pass that goes down low, and the horn will eventually sound, ending the first period here at the Moorhead Sports Center. The Spuds showing why they are a number 1 seed in the section, and realistically, if they're fortunate enough to get on to state, they could be a number 1 seed in the big school class, being the defending state champions. Right now, Moorhead is up by 4 with 17 minutes gone by in tonight's game. A programming note on our platforms: we will have the Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report later. That will be coming up between the second and third periods of tonight's game here in Moorhead, Minnesota. Through 1 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. It is Moorhead 4, Alexandria no score. Right now we will enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving.
I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
I'm a nurse at heart. I mean, I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community. As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
We welcome you back to the Moorhead Sports Center in between the first and second periods of tonight's Section 8 AA Boys Hockey quarterfinal. The Alexandria Cardinals playing with nothing to lose and everything to gain. Moorhead looking to make a significant postseason run, and at least through 17 minutes of tonight's game, the Spuds have come out and set the tone. To Alexandria's credit, the game was scoreless for a little more than 8 minutes, but then when Moorhead was able to dent the scoreboard, the Spuds did it frequently, and they have a 4-0 lead after one period. Jeff James, it's been a period where I thought Alexandria's game plan at the start was quite good, and kind of creating that interrupting of the flow, if you will, getting the puck out of the defensive zone, maybe even icing the puck, and the strategy worked for a while. But my question at this point, can you employ a similar strategy now that you're down by 4 goals?
No, I mean, you just can't. They're picking us apart in our end. I think, as hard as this sounds, because it's not an easy task, I think you have to still rely more on the body. You have to try and get that puck down into their end and really put pressure on their D. I just don't see anything else that Alexandria can do. They can't sit back and try and cover areas, because Moorhead has just been able to find ways to slide into soft spots and score from there. So, Alexandria, it's it's one of those situations where, they're good. Moorhead's good. I'm kind of at a little bit of a loss as to what we can do besides worry about ourselves, and I don't think ending up in the box is gonna be the key here. I know frustrations get high. They're kids. But the worst thing that Alexandria could do is start some kind of a trail to the box in the second and third period. I think you have to really focus on what you do and what you do well, and get that puck deep, get your forecheck on it, throw everything you can at the Spud net, and hopefully get one here to get yourself a little bit of emotion going in the right direction.
And Moorhead's got such a fabulous team, all the way around, in the offensive zone, neutral ice, D zone. They're not impenetrable in terms of what their last line of defense can be. Will Arnold's stats are really good. A 17-2-1 against the schedule that Moorhead plays is very commendable. Save percentage is .883, and in a lot of instances, you think that's okay. I mean, it's not spectacular. And that's not to say that Will Arnold's not a good goalie, because he is. But I think the one thing, you can get pucks on Will Arnold, and the team that he has surrounding him can overcome, any goals that he might allow because of the firepower that Moorhead possesses.
Right, and and the part that I saw too with the way Alexandria is almost being not passive, but kind of not being as aggressive in the defensive zone is, when we do get the puck down there, we're probably changing. We don't have a lot of people, busting down to get that forecheck moving, and that's going to have to be something that we adjust, because, seeing and they finally did update our shots a little bit here. I think it's a little bit more realistic now. It's 20 for the Spuds and 2 for Alexandria, but you can't see 60 shots and think that you're going to come back in this game.
Yeah, and so let's go inside the numbers here. We'll do a scoring recap. Again, Moorhead with all the goals in the first 17 minutes. The first one actually didn't come until almost halfway through the period. Max Cullen was able to score at the 8:28 mark. These, by the way, are all even strength goals tonight for the Spuds. Max Cullen with his 21st, 2 assists, 1 to Titan Bergeson and 1 to Brandon Mickelson. Moorhead then increased the lead to 2 less than a minute later when Bergeson was able to score. It was his 23rd of the year. Drew Corton and Will Cullen got assists. Then Moorhead added 2 more in a pretty quick fashion later in the first period. At 13:49, Bergeson with his second of the night, 24th on the year. That goal was assisted by Mickelson and Corton. And then at 15:35 of the first period, Joey Cullen with a goal, his 15th of the year, and the assists were given to Evan Warner and Michael Herman. Shots on goal in the opening period as it was updated while we were conversing. Moorhead with 20 shots on goal compared to just 2 for Alexandria. So Will Arnold has made a couple of saves tonight, and Brady Schluter has 16 saves to his credit. Again, Moorhead 4, Alexandria nothing at the end of 1 period. Again, we'll have our Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report coming up between the second and third periods of tonight's hockey game. But right now on our platforms, including Leighton Media, KXRA Alexandria, on the radio, and also on our Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel, we enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Buildings.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
Resorts Marine in Osakis. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Osakis.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Thanks for joining us for our Prep Boys Hockey playoff coverage tonight on our Leighton Media platforms. Leighton Media KXRA Radio, and also on the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel. We're situated in the Moorhead Sports Center tonight. We're actually on the west end of the arena. When we were up here, I believe 10 days ago for Alexandria's girls hockey playoff, we were on the east end of the arena, and little did we realize we kind of took the spot of the Moorhead High School pep band that night. So they were gracious enough that night to come over to the west side. So we thought we would make the preemptive move and come over to the west side tonight and do the broadcast from here. And Moorhead was able to get its usual spot for the pep band to play over on the east side. Now, when we frequently come to the Moorhead Sports Center, we're actually in an elevated press box near center ice. Basically, the width of the press box is from, in essence, blue line to blue line if you were to extrapolate the blue line into the stands and everything. But I know Moorhead's radio crew, led by the terrific Larry Knutson and Spuds.tv, are here tonight. I believe one of 3 media outlets that are covering the game. And we know that you have choices, but we thank you for choosing us for our play-by-play tonight. Dave McClurg, Jeff James, and our videographer, J.P. Boleen at the Moorhead Sports Center. Thursday night, we plan on having Alexandria Cardinal regular season boys basketball on the air. I just got a text from Russ Henricks, who's doing the public address announcing tonight at Alexandria Area High School. And the Cardinals are off and rolling. 26-3. Alexandria leads Fergus Falls in boys basketball. That game a little more than midway through the first half. Alexandria looking to bounce back following a loss last week to St. Cloud Apollo, the first CLC loss of the year. And a win tonight would wrap up the Central Lakes Conference title outright for the Alexandria boys basketball team. And they are currently up by more than 20 in the home game at Poling Court. When the Cardinals play on Thursday, it's a road trip to Brainerd High School. Russ Henricks and videographer J.P. Boleen will be joining me for the broadcast. I am feeling a little more optimistic that we will get that game in on Thursday. I think the Brainerd Lakes area is going to be under some adverse winter weather tonight into tomorrow. That system is going to push out by Thursday. And then the Thursday event, which is coming up from the Great Plains down toward Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota, that's supposed to brush the southern portion of the state. So it could be that central Minnesota is kind of in between both systems here. Off to the north toward Brainerd and Lake Mille Lacs and east central Minnesota. They're going to get some winter weather tonight into Wednesday. And then later in the week, I believe it's kind of a southern third of Minnesota type situation. So I am hopeful we will have Alexandria boys basketball Thursday night with the Cardinals at Brainerd for a 7:15 varsity start. Pregame show would be on the air at 6:45. We have 2 more regular season games to go. Both involve last year's Class AAA state champion Alexandria boys basketball team. One this Thursday night at Brainerd, and then a really good non-conference game against Totino Grace at Alexandria Area High School when the Cardinals close out their regular season on the 26th of February.
Could we get so lucky as to not have another storm like right soon here? I don't think we're that lucky, D-Mac.
Well, I don't know. I invoke enough weather terrorist behavior the way it is. So I'm just going to try to keep mum here and let the storms blow by as they may.
Right.
So both teams skating 5-on-5 with the second period underway. Moorhead will now be attacking the goal on the opposite end. And here's a shot whistled wide by Zach Zimmerman. Now it's going to be kept in. Brandon Mickelson is going to send it across. Then it comes back to Mickelson here. Now another shot and a goal. And Moorhead's going to increase the lead. It's now 5-0 for the Spuds, scoring just 23 seconds into the second period.
And from our angle, it looked like Schluter had a beat on that one. I wonder if that was tipped or at the last second he was screened, because it just looked like his glove was right in position and the puck beat him and into the net.
So we will get the official scoring here for you momentarily, but Moorhead now has scored the first 5 on the night. And now another charge. Looks like Brandon Mickelson will get credit for the goal, and that would be his 20th on the year. Titan Bergeson, the senior forward, now with a 3-point night here. 2 goals plus an assist. The assist is his 38th of the year. Bergeson now at 62 points on the year. And keep in mind, this is game number 26 for Moorhead. Alexandria's Owen Klimek will work the puck into the offensive zone. His shot went a little wide. Now a turnover here, and here's the shot attempt by Aaron Anderson. That got deflected away from the goal. Now Anderson trying to track it down. Joey Cullen is going to send it ahead, and it's going to go back the other way. Evan Warner will try to track it down, but the Cardinals regain possession. Nick Schultz is going to send it out of the defensive zone up ahead. Now Will Thornburg is going to send it across toward Harlan Ream. Now a centering attempt by Grady Olson gets broken up. Now Moorhead regains control. And a pass got poked away by Alexandria, forcing the Spuds to go back into their own end. Brandon Mickelson and Grady Huteri are the defensive partners on the ice here. Alexandria worked the puck back into the Moorhead zone, and we have a whistle stopping play. I think the Cardinals may have been offside, as it looks like the faceoff will be coming up outside of the Moorhead blue line. Battling for the draw here, Harlan Ream for the Cardinals and Will Cullen for Moorhead. And the Spuds gain possession of the puck. Huteri will send it up ahead. It gets intercepted here, and Alexandria will come back the other way. Here comes Ream trying to spot Grady Olson, but the pass is intercepted here by Michael Herman. Herman will come back the other way. He's going to send it across, and a one-timer and a goal. Seamus Campbell, I believe, is going to get the finish here, and Moorhead has built the lead to 6 goals, barely 2 minutes into the second period.
Just running into a buzzsaw I mean, that 2-on-1 was, again, just a really quick shot, almost a one-timer. And, Schluter had to pay attention to the and give some credit to the shot, but the pass was so quick and just found the back of the net.
Yep, and I believe it will be Seamus Campbell getting the goal. Michael Herman and Will Cullen will get assists on the goal. And the time of the goal, 2:04 of the second period, so it's now 6-0 for the top-seeded Moorhead Spuds. Again, Moorhead, I think, is looking to make another memorable postseason run. Moorhead has not lost a playoff game since the 2023-24 season, having gone 6-0 last year in winning the Class AA state championship. So
we had an icing there, and you're probably going to see a lot of this, especially with the long change, DMAC, because if Alexandria gets stuck in their end, they're going to have to just release that pressure and get a line change. But probably see quite a few of those here in the second.
Max Cullen will battle for the draw against the Alexandria Cardinals' Evan Klimek, and Moorhead able to win the faceoff here. Now a pass gets tipped back into neutral ice, and defenseman Brandon Mickelson will track it down. He's going to drop it off now to Zach Devig. Devig will now send it to Mickelson, and Moorhead will look to break out. 6-0 for the Spuds. We're now a little more than 3 minutes into this second period. Dave McClurg, Jeff James bringing you the broadcast, and videographer J.P. Boline joins us here at the Moorhead Sports Center. Now the Cardinals pinned in their own end. We got a delayed penalty coming up here, and we're going to have a power play forthcoming.
Not sure who's getting the door here on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Moorhead. Moorhead's going to go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slashing call, and Titan Bergeson is going to go off. So power play chance for Alexandria. The Cardinals are 0 for 1 with the player advantage tonight. Alexandria will start the power play with Evan Klimek, Connor Wang, Will Thornburg, Brody Berg, and Grady Olson. Moorhead for penalty kill as Zach Devig, Joey Cullen. Also Finn Paulson on the ice, and Evan Warner along with goaltender Matt Arnold. Alexandria trying to control the draw, and here's Evan Klimek getting bottled up. Now it's going to come to Connor Wang. His shot tipped in front by Berg, but that one goes a little bit wide. Berg trying to track it down back behind the net. He's going to send it to Evan Klimek back out to the point. Wang will have it. He'll fire, and that one's going to be deflected out of play, and we'll have a face-off coming up in the Moorhead Spud zone. About 25 seconds elapsed in the power play. Time remaining in the second, 13 minutes and 16 seconds. Alexandria trying to convert and get on the board to try to wipe the goose egg off the scoreboard. Moorhead's going to clear the puck back the other way, and Alexandria will look to break out. The winner of this game will face either St. Cloud or Bemidji on Saturday. Joel Hoover from the Lumberjack Radio Network in Bemidji is communicating with me with score updates, and they're getting ready to start the second period in St. Cloud, and right now Bemidji has a 2-1 lead. The Lumberjacks lost the regular season game at St. Cloud. One reason why the Crush is at home tonight. Now shorthanded. Here's a chance for Evan Warner, but it's going to be sent wide. Now the puck back to the neutral zone, and looking to send it ahead is Drew Corton. And now it's broken up by Alexandria in neutral ice. Now the Cardinals will bring it back in. Here's Connor Wang trying to fire toward the net. That got deflected. Aiden Schneiderhan unable to keep it in. Aaron Anderson will go back to play it here for Alexandria. Now it's going to be backhanded in. About a half a minute remaining in the Alexandria power play. We are nearly 5 minutes into the second. Moorhead leading Alexandria on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard 6-0 in this Section 8AA Boys Hockey quarterfinal. Now the puck along the wall. Owen Klimek sending it over toward Aaron Anderson. Then trying to feed inside to Miles Breitzman. And Breitzman with a big hit along the wall, and I think he might end up getting the gate here. I think we're going to have an interference call. So Alexandria's power play is done, and the Cardinals are about to go shorthanded.
I thought they were both playing the puck. I thought, if nothing else, it was going to be a trip because it looked like he kind of almost had a leg behind him like you would consider a slew foot, but I didn't think interference was going to be the call there.
So the time of the penalty will be 5:15 of the second. So Moorhead and Alexandria will play 5 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, and then the Spuds will get a power play chance. And so Moorhead will control the draw in the Alexandria zone. Spuds now back to full strength. Out top, handling the puck here is Joey Cullen. Then it comes across. Zach Zimmerman trying to fire, and that one into traffic, and Alexandria will clear it out of the zone. The Spuds have for the power play at the moment Brandon Mickelson on the ice. Zach Zimmerman is out there. You've got Max Cullen also on the ice for Moorhead. I think Evan Warner may also be out there, and one other forward for Moorhead. Now it's Joey Cullen handling the puck. He's going to send it over toward Mickelson. Now to Zimmerman, then down low, and then a centering attempt. Shot. That one is going to be whistled. Actually, it whistles by the netminder and deflected out of play. So we're going to have a face-off coming up. Will Draper and Connor Wang are going to come on for penalty kill, joined by Brody Berg and Owen Klimek here for Alexandria. Still about 70 seconds remaining in the Moorhead power play. 10:55 is our time remaining in the second period. It is Moorhead 6, Alexandria no score.
And I think we had a crease call there, D-Mac, so they moved it out.
Yep, so the neutral zone face-off will be forthcoming here. Max Cullen battling for the draw against Owen Klimek. Moorhead has it. Brandon Mickelson will send it up and into the offensive zone. Now Joey Cullen working with it here, down along the goal line, back behind the net. He's going to play it over toward Warner. Now back out top to Zimmerman. Then it comes, and Joey Cullen now has it. Looks to, nope, he still has the puck. Looking for an angle to try to shoot, and now it's going to be played over into the corner, then back out toward Joey Cullen. Now it's going to be played by Brandon Mickelson over to the right side to Zimmerman. Then Mickelson has it. He'll kind of weave his way in. Comes down toward the goal line here. Alexandria trying to gain possession. Will Draper sent it off the left half wall, but could not clear it out. Now Zimmerman will feed it down, and then it comes back out top. Handling it is Joey Cullen. Tries to keep it in, and he will, as it's going to be cycled around. Now a one-timer, save made by Schluter. Rebound on a shot that goes wide. Now another shot attempt, and Moorhead's going to score. With just 4 seconds to go on the power play, and the Spuds have tacked on the extra point. It's now Moorhead 7, Alexandria no score.
Yeah, and there for a while, Alexandria was down to 3 penalty killers because one decided to change, but there was some miscommunication of who was gonna go. So Alexandria was kind of fighting the bear there, 5-on-3 for a good 15 seconds.
So we'll get the official indicator of who got the score for the Moorhead Spuds, as it is now a 7-0 game Hayden Bergeson will get the goal, and he's got the hat trick tonight. Two assists will be given. Zach Zimmerman and Max Cullen. So now the teams are back to 5-on-5 hockey. Here's Drew Huteri sending it up, or Grady Huteri rather, for the Moorhead Spuds, playing it up into the Alexandria end. We're approaching the midpoint of the second period with Moorhead leading this game by a 7-0 score. The Spuds well on their way to beginning the 2026 postseason on a winning note. Alexandria was hoping to be the Giants slayer tonight, but don't believe it's going to happen here with Moorhead comfortably in front nearly halfway through the hockey game. Now, halfway through the first period, we did not have any goals. Moorhead's first score came at the 8:28 mark of the hockey game, so basically in about 17 minutes of game time, Moorhead has put one, then another, then another, then another, then another, then another, then another, to make it a 7-0 lead.
And that's just what they can do. You know, they can turn it on. You know, it's just one of those situations where, you know, Alexandria is doing what they can do, but Moorhead's got a lot of skill on that team.
Now the Cardinals pinned back in their own end here. The puck gets cycled around. Now Alexandria is going to send it back out to neutral ice. Back to play it here is Michael Herman, one of the forwards for Moorhead. And now it gets played back into the Alexandria zone, and I believe it crossed too many lines because we're going to have an icing call. And the players will accommodate by coming over to the west end to allow us for a close-up view. We have Aaron Anderson, Owen Klimek, Will Thornburg on the ice, Rogan Anderson, and Captain Nick Schultz for Alexandria. Moorhead counters with George Arnold. You've got John Olness on the ice. Michael Herman is on the ice. Drew Corton is getting some shift time as well. And also Seamus Campbell. Here's a break, and Moorhead coming the other way. And here's a centering attempt, and that got sent over to the wall. Now it's back behind, and Alexandria will look to redirect it out of the zone. The Cardinals so far have gotten 4 shots on goaltender Will Arnold without finding the back of the net. As we are now a little more than midway through this game, Moorhead in front by a 7-0 score. Now here is a lead pass intended for Seamus Campbell, but broken up by Alexandria. Cardinals will play it back to neutral ice. Now the Cardinals regain control as Moorhead is going to change personnel. Now we've got a pass intercepted. Max Cullen looking to make his way ahead, and now it's going to be redirected by Alexandria back to neutral ice. Now working in is Evan Klimek. He'll send one, and that, I believe, went off the right post. Now another shot. This one whistled wide on the attempt by Connor Wang. Now a puck gets cleared out of the zone by Moorhead. Now it's going to be Zach Zimmerman going the other way for the Spuds. He'll drop it off, and a shot gets saved, I believe, by goaltender Brady Schluter. Now it's going to be played back out. Handling it now, Finn Paulson for Moorhead. We go under 7 minutes remaining in the second. Moorhead dominating this hockey game with a 7-0 advantage. Now the puck is going to be played into the slot area, broken up by the Alexandria Cardinals, as it's going to be worked behind by one of the Alexandria defensemen. Now played back to neutral ice. Now working in is the Cardinals' Connor Wang. Now Zach Devig will redirect, and he sends a lead pass up ahead. I believe that's Gage Kalthoff sending it off, and we're going to have a shot, a one-timer here, I think, by Zach Zimmerman. And the save is going to be made by Brady Schluter.
Nice save. I mean, he had to come across and take that out of the webbing with the glove there. It was nice crossover save there by Schluter.
Russ Hendricks has given me an update. Halfway through the boys basketball game at Alexandria Area High School. The Cardinals are up by 27 over Fergus Falls. Alexandria 49, Fergus Falls 22. And they will start the second half in just a few minutes as Alexandria is 18 minutes away from wrapping up the Central Lakes Conference title outright. Here it's a 7-0 Moorhead lead in the Section 8 AA Boys Hockey quarterfinal. Jeff James, Dave McClurg bringing you the play-by-play on People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM. We also have audio through the Voice of Alexandria app, and we appreciate you watching here on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. And as we give you the necessary legalese, Moorhead has tacked on another goal and now has a snowman on the board. It is 8-0 for the Moorhead Spuds.
And it's unfortunate that Schluter's going to have to come out of the game, but it can't be any fun for him either. So,
yeah, he's going to be lifted here at the 11-12 mark as Owen Bruder will come in and complete the game here for the Alexandria Cardinals. So we'll get the official scoring here. Joey Cullen will get the goal. And now Moorhead is going to pepper another shot on goal, and the stoppage will be made here.
Yeah, so Bruder had a nice save. When you come in cold like that, that's a very hard thing to do. You know, you saw some shots in warm-ups probably about an hour and 20 minutes ago.
Right. So now the Cardinals look to play it out of the zone, and Moorhead is working through neutral ice, and Seamus Campbell will try to work it around. Now it's played along the left wall. Some bodies being thrust up against the boards here. It seems like Alexandria maybe looking to get a little more physical here. So we're about to go under 5 minutes remaining in the second. Moorhead with an 8-goal lead over Alexandria. Michael Herman works his way in. He's got it back behind the net. Now it's going to be played out top. Here's Zach Devig looking to fire, and that one goes a little bit wide. Grady Huteri is looking to keep it in the zone here for Moorhead. Now played back. Huteri is looking to send it to one of his forwards, but it gets tipped into the corner, and now it's going to be taken here. And a shot attempt by the Spuds' Will Cullen will go a little bit wide. Now a shot by Huteri, scramble in front of the net, and it's going to be played away here by the Alexandria Cardinals. Eventually an icing, but Owen Bruder coming in relief of starting goaltender Brady Schluter, and Owen's seen a lot of action in the early moments. 4:22 our time remaining in the second. This will be the last period where we have stoppage time unless Alexandria can score multiple goals in the third period to narrow the gap to fewer than 6. Right now it's an 8-0 lead for Moorhead. So the mercy rule would go into effect at the start of period number 3. Alexandria will play the puck in. Right now the Cardinals do have Evan Klimek, Brody Berg, and Miles Breitzman on the ice. They are joined by defensive partners Rogan Anderson and Nick Schultz. Here's a centering attempt by Berg, intended for Breitzman, broken up by Moorhead. Now Gage Kalhoff will send it out of the zone. Alexandria redirects. Now Brendan Mickelson has it for Moorhead. Mickelson trying to carry the puck out of his own zone as Evan Klimek is right alongside. Mickelson trying to go coast to coast, then tries to feed in front, and it got broken up. 3.5 minutes now remaining in the second. It's all Moorhead tonight as the top-seeded Spuds have an 8-0 lead here at the Moorhead Sports Center.
So the only consolation for Bruder is that it's not going to take long for him to get warm.
Yes.
With the amount of shots that he's going to see here.
Now the scoreboard has 29 shots on goal. I think that might be a little bit conservative.
I think it's a little light.
Probably tack on a few more during the second period intermission. I would anticipate it's probably closer to 34 or 35 Moorhead shots tonight against the two Alexandria goaltenders. But Alexandria has 5 shots on goal against the sophomore goaltender Will Arnold tonight. Down to about 3 minutes and change remaining in the second. Moorhead 8, Alexandria no score. Glenwood State Bank bringing you our scoreboard updates tonight. Now the Cardinals come up into the Moorhead end, and the Spuds play it back to neutral ice. Now looking to work his way in is Grady Olson, but he got tied up by Zach Devig, and Moorhead will play the puck out. Back to retrieve it is Will Draper here for Alexandria. Now up ahead, a pass gets tipped by a Cardinal player, Grady Olson, into the offensive zone. Devig will go back to reclaim it, and now he sends it up into neutral ice, and it's going to be played back in by Will Draper. Now Devig has it for Moorhead. He'll play it up. Intercepted at center ice here, and the Cardinals' Will Thornburg will try to work his way in. Thornburg got tied up by a couple of Moorhead players, including Devig and Max Cullen. Now Alexandria trying to play the puck back into the Spud zone, but Moorhead's blue liners have it. Zach Devig and John Olness now the D partners on the ice for the Spuds. Working through here is Titan Bergeson. Bergeson, I believe, now has a 5-point night for Moorhead. 3 goals, and he has assisted on 2 others. And that's through basically 2 periods of hockey. Now working in is Connor Wang. Wang looking to feed it off. It comes back out. And here is a pass that's going to be cycled around over into the direction of Will Thornburg. He got met along the wall. Bergeson will try to play it ahead. Brody Berg trying to do some work here. Now a bouncing pass intercepted by Drew Corton. He'll send it ahead to Zach Zimmerman. Now off to the left side to Titan Bergeson, and his shot is saved by Owen Bruder.
Yeah, Bruder, another nice save there on a guy that's been finding the back of the net when he wants to.
Right.
But you know, you have to hand it to these two goaltenders from Alexandria, though. This is a tall task that they had put in front of them. It's definitely, you know, even though Schluter, you know, isn't in the game anymore, that's not a reflection of him as a goaltender. This is just a really hard situation.
Yeah, I think a lot of goalies would have been in a situation if other goalies were in the skates of Brady Schluter tonight. Moorhead is a juggernaut, and honestly, as the sports columnist Bob Ryan might say, I would be shocked if the Moorhead Spuds are not making a deep postseason run. I had to get that second shock in.
Yeah,
you
almost scared me.
That's the way Bob Ryan does it, though.
Yeah.
So, but and you know, and no fault on Alexandria, but we're looking at a team that could somewhere in March become a state champion again.
Sure, absolutely, and they have, you know, a lot of kids on this team had opportunities to play in the USHL and other programs. This is a team that has a ton of talent.
Yeah, and you know, Moorhead looking good right now with the 8-goal lead. The final minute of play in the second period. Again, we've got our Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report on the way, and then that third period should clip along pretty quick as the mercy rule will be in effect right away at the start of the period. Now looking to gain possession of the puck is Brandon Mickelson. And it's going to be played back into the Alexandria zone. And here is a shot and a goal. So the centering pass came out front, and Moorhead's able to get the finish. And it's now a 9-goal advantage for the Spuds with the goal at the 16:45 mark of the second period. So Owen Bruder yields his first goal in tonight's game, and Moorhead now with a 9-0 advantage over the visiting Alexandria Cardinals.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, it's tough to tough to get guys like us that are speechless, but I think we're just kind of composing our thoughts on the fly. I actually slipped an earpiece off my headset mic because I wanted to get the scoring sequence. John Grammer scored the goal for the Moorhead Spuds to make it a 9-0 lead, and I believe that will be the score at the end of 2 periods here, as I think Owen Bruder ends up making one more save. Grammer, by the way, his 8th goal of the year, coming at 16:45. Joey Cullen with an assist, and also an assist given to Evan Wanner. So The Spuds tack on 5 more in the second, so it's all Moorhead tonight. 9-0 for the defending Class AA state champions with 17 minutes remaining, and that is the third period straight ahead. We've got our Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report on deck. But right now on our platforms, including Leighton Media, KXRA Radio, and the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel, we enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food.
Yes, we do that at Dental Health.
Vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CIRAC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind. Because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
Along with our videographer, JP Boleen, and my broadcast partner, Jeff James, I am DMAC Dave McClurg, welcoming you to our mid-game report brought to you by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. Jeff, I think we knew coming in this was going to be an extremely difficult challenge for Alexandria, considering all the people that the Moorhead Spuds can possess, especially the dynamite forwards that they have really on their top 2 lines. I think their top 6 forwards could be number 1 forwards on many other hockey teams around the state of Minnesota. But, I thought, to Alexandria's credit, they came out. I thought their game plan at the start was good, but Moorhead was able to kind of, readjust a little bit. And I think you found out, or you may have mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, that Moorhead was just showing some patience and finding spots where Alexandria might have some coverage issues. And, Moorhead has been able to, finish the shots off. And a 4-goal first period and a 5-goal second period mean that the third period's going to march along pretty quickly.
Right, and it's unfortunate because, especially for the seniors that are playing here, that this could very well be their last game, depending on whether they go to play juniors or, off to college to play in club or Division III or whatever it may be. But I'm actually kind of proud that they've kept their composure as much as they have, because this has a recipe for, just getting frustrated and doing, stuff that kids do. And but Alexandria is really holding together their emotions so far, and I hope that continues to happen.
Well, I think what's going to end up, in about 17 minutes of game time here, the Cardinals' 25-26 season will end with 11 wins, 14 defeats, 1 tie. I believe a third-place finish in the Central Lakes Conference. They had a winning conference record. Interesting to note, the team that finished right above them in the CLC standings, they actually went 1-0-1 against this year, that being Detroit Lakes. I think you start to look at maybe some of the bigger picture type things. The fact that the Cardinals did have a winning conference record, I think, would be one highlight. And, what they did last week to get that tie against Detroit Lakes. I know that, you can only be somewhat satisfied with a 5-5 tie, but, hey, the Cardinals were down in that game 5-1 with about 7.5 minutes to go and, found a way to play some extra hockey. And I look for little things like that. And, and as you draw further away from this game, kudos to the Moorhead Spuds. Moorhead might put numbers up like this against some of the other teams in their section, before this is all said and done. But I think in light of what will be the outcome here, a Moorhead victory over Alexandria, the Cardinals, once they get a little emotional distance from the season as a whole, I think can look back and realize that they did make some progress, and that they will find some good things that occurred over the last 2.5-3 months of this year.
Right, and I think even Coach Landon Olsen talked about it. There's not much between starting out with the Spuds and, let's say, starting out with that 5 seed, because we did have a tight one against St. Michael Albertville, who will probably have something to say about who goes through out of this section by the end of it. Had one slip away from us from St. Cloud. I don't know if we want to call Leyden Egg and Brainerd, but I thought that we were going to come out and get our first one there, and then we do get our first one at home against Brainerd, and and a tight one against Bemidji, right? So it's not like it was this all year long in 8AA for us. I mean, there is coulda, shoulda, woulda. I know you can say that, but it's one of those situations that there are some things to build on for next year with a lot of these players that are going to come back.
Yeah, Alexandria will graduate a number of kids in the spring with the class of 2026, but with goaltender Owen Bruder returning, some different forwards that are getting valuable experience right now, and even a few of those blue liners, the cupboard will be restocked. And I think next winter, I think Alexandria is going to realize the importance of these head-to-head meetings with their Section 8AA opponents. Not that they didn't realize the importance this winter, but I think that's probably the sobering part when Dr. Olsen mentioned to us as part of our Jutner Motors pregame show, your record in games against Section 8AA opponents is probably the biggest determining factor as to where you might go, because record-wise, I think Alexandria will end up with more victories this year than will the Brainerd Warriors. They end up with a similar number of wins to the St. Cloud Crush, a similar number of wins to the Bemidji Lumberjacks, but yeah, you look at that 1-7 overall record in the section. Gosh, if the Cardinals can notch maybe 2-3 wins on top of that next year, maybe rather than, for example, if they play 10 section games rather than 7, because they'll have Roseau on the schedule next year. We presume Bemidji home and away, so that's going to increase the section game total by 3. Maybe if they go 3-7 or 4-6, it probably gets them out of the number 8 spot anyway.
Yeah, and that gives you a fighting chance to get, to get into the semifinals, if nothing else. And because I thought when we ended up playing St. Michael Albertville, that was a good game. I mean, you can't say anything less than that. But you talk about you're losing 4 seniors up on your forwards, and you're losing 2 of your defensemen, and you're losing 1 goaltender. There's been teams that we've had in the past that have lost a lot more than that, but the kids that we are going to lose are kind of heart and soul guys too. With you got Berg and you got Klemick and Breitzman, and you have a lot of good players there that we're going to be looking to refill. But again, it's not empty. The cupboard's not empty. We just have to reload.
We're not necessarily glossing over the scoring recap. We're not going to go goal by goal. Moorhead scored 4 in the first period, 5 in the second. Notable here, Tyden Bergeson, the senior forward, has a 5-point night for the Spuds, 3 goals and a pair of assists. Already, Evan Warner, junior forward for Moorhead, has 3 points on a number of helpers tonight. Moorhead has this game in command right now, leading Alexandria 9-0 with the third period on the way. Our thanks to Eldon's Fresh Foods for presenting our mid-game report. Now we'll enjoy on our latent media platforms these words from our Cardinal Sports Boosters.
Resorts Marine in Osakis. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Osakis.
Life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted Best Real Estate Company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
At ALP Utilities, we're proud to be a community-owned public power and water utility. That means local decisions, reliable service, and reinvesting in Alexandria. From classrooms to sidelines, we're proud to be a part of the moments that bring our community together.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new and used equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best. Piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, RX Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
We are about ready to begin the third period. It'll be the final period of the season for the Alexandria Boys Hockey team as the Cardinals trail 9-0. One game has gone final in the Section 8 AA quarterfinal round. Elk River Zimmerman had little trouble defeating Roseau tonight. 10-1 was the final score down in Elk River. That game got underway at 5 o'clock this afternoon. We wish the Roseau Rams safe travels as they head back north. I know that the northern sections of the state will have various winter weather advisories. I think Roseau County might be under a winter storm warning later on tonight, carrying into Wednesday. So status for the Roseau kids might be in question for school on Wednesday. Now, most of the winter-related activity is going to stay north of the Alexandria Lakes area. In fact, right now in the Fargo-Moorhead area, there are no weather advisories. Cass County, North Dakota, which is right across the Red River Valley, or Red River of the North, in Fargo, a winter weather advisory goes into effect starting at 3 a.m. Clay County on the Minnesota side is not part of that winter weather advisory area. So I know they are expecting some strong winds and at the outset some rain. I know as of when we went on the air with the broadcast, the temperature was still in the 40s. So I would guess if we have any precipitation as we head back to the Alexandria area tonight, it would be in the form of rain and not the four-letter word starting with the letter S.
Boy, I was looking at the radar here just now, and it looks like like later on this evening, the whole top part of the state looks like an abstract of color.
Yes, and you get your shades of blue and pink in there, and that's not good. The blue would mean measurable snowfall. The pink is probably mixed precipitation. So 17 minutes are put on the clock. Alexandria will begin the third period with its forward line of Brody Berg, Evan Klimek, and Miles Breitzman on the ice, along with defensive partners Aiden Schneiderhan and Brolin McPhail. And Moorhead's going to possess the puck and play it into the Alexandria zone. And a player, Max Cullen, got tripped as he was trying to get a shot off, and Alexandria is going to clear the puck back the other way. Again, the mercy rule in effect here as Moorhead's up by 9 goals at the start of the third period. Here's a pass across and a shot by Tyden Bergeson, whistled wide. He is not afraid to shoot. He's got 5 points tonight, bringing his season total to 64. Now we've got a shot that went off the side of the net. Now another follow-up by Brandon Mickelson. That got stopped by Owen Bruder. By the way, Moorhead now out shooting Alexandria for the night, 34-5. And now the Spuds will look to regroup. Alexandria bringing different forwards onto the ice. The line that includes Aaron Anderson is going to be getting its way onto the ice. I think Will Thornburg is out there already. Evan Klimek will come to the bench as Owen Klimek will step onto the ice for the Cardinals. Alexandria will bring defensive partners Nick Schultz and Rogan Anderson onto the ice. Now the puck back in the Moorhead zone. And the Spuds are going to play it back down low and look to regroup and send a pass up to neutral ice where Owen Klimek will redirect it back into the Spuds end. Now Grady Olson getting some shift time out there. Now Bennett Waldorf will be sliding onto the ice as well. So Owen will eventually go to the bench, as we'll likely see Harlan Ream coming in. Now Moorhead surging back the other way. Evan Warner trying to bring it out front. Pass gets intercepted. Nick Schultz will send it up toward Waldorf, and now it's going to be played wide, and Moorhead will regain control. 2 minutes into the final period of the night here at the Moorhead Sports Center. Grady Olson now intercepts a pass, and then he got turned around, and Moorhead regains possession. Now pass by Nick Schultz intended for Harlan Ream. Then it comes back toward Schultz. Now Alexandria working back. Harlan Ream has it, looking to work in front of his net. Now he's going to send it back behind toward Rogan Anderson, over toward Schultz, and now back out of the zone. Lead pass ahead intended for Brody Berg gets broken up. Now we're going to have a shot attempt here by George Arnold that goes a little bit wide. Now the Spuds regain control. Here's a shot and a save made by Owen Bruder on the attempt by Seamus Campbell. Now the Cardinals possess the puck. Evan Klimek getting it to Brody Berg. Now a chip ahead toward Klimek. Intercepted by Moorhead, but now Schultz has it for Alexandria. Nick Schultz looking to play it ahead, and now crosses center ice and will slam the puck in as Alexandria will change some personnel. The D partners of Will Draper and Connor Wang will come back onto the ice. Alexandria will change the forward line combination. Here's the lead pass ahead. George Arnold has it, try to wrap around, and that one is going to be directed away. Now here is Max Cullen gaining possession of the puck, and then it's going to be sent out of the zone by the Alexandria Cardinals. Looks like we've got Isaac Bruder, Reed Putnam on the ice, and Weston Nyberg getting a shift here as well. So Dr. Landon Olson using a line that has not been used, I believe, at all until the third period here. The Putnam, Isaac Bruder, Weston Nyberg forward line. Now here is Gage Kalhoff possessing the puck. Now it's going to go to Will Bagney. Those two are forwards along with George Arnold as part of Moorhead's fourth line. Puck is directed out of play, and or I should say deflected out of play on a direction. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Owen Bruder.
I'm telling you, I could have caught that one if that net wasn't here.
Yes.
It was perfect.
Darn net was in
perfect.
the way. Yep. And you probably would have had it on a bare hand. One bare hand. You wouldn't have even needed a second hand, even though it's always good to use two hands.
Right.
Now the puck cycled around by Connor Wang up into the direction of Aaron Anderson and played out of the Cardinals zone back to neutral ice. Moorhead's going to come back the other way. Now we've got a pass ahead. Taking it here is Titan Bergeson. And now he'll send it toward Will Bagney. Now a centering attempt broken up by Wang. We have now played 5 minutes of this third period. It is Moorhead 9, Alexandria no score. Spuds on their way to going to 22-3-1 on the year, beginning postseason defense of their Class AA state championship. Won for the first time in program history under head coach John Emmerman last March. Now we're going to have an icing call on the Alexandria Cardinals, and a face-off will be coming in the west end here. Aiden Schneiderhan and Brolin McPhail are the D partners on the ice, joined by forwards Harlan Ream, Grady Olson, and Bennett Waldorf. Moorhead has its forward line of Max Cullen. I believe you've got Evan Wanner and Zach Zimmerman out there as well. And defensive partners Zach Devig and maybe Brandon Mickelson. I know they've got a player along the left side right now. He's standing up and not arching over. And I believe that is Mickelson for the Moorhead Spuds. Or I'm sorry, it's not him, but Finn Paulson is that other D partner. Now the Spuds gain control, and now we're going to have a whistle, and shot doesn't count, as I think we had a penalty called on Moorhead.
Yeah, it's going to be cross-checking on Max Cullen. I was watching it the whole time below us here. He gave, let me just get the number here. He was giving Harlan Ream, he probably gave him 6 cross-checks before the arm went up, and Harlan was feeling it too. He kind of adjusted his arms as he was going back to the bench, but.
So 6:34 will be the time of the Moorhead penalty for cross-checking on Max Cullen. Moorhead's going to gain possession shorthanded. Right now you've got Evan Wanner and Zach Zimmerman on the ice as your forwards. Defensive partners Finn Paulson and also Zach Devig on the ice. The Cardinals on the power play have Will Thornburg, Evan Klimek, Brody Berg, Grady Olson, and Connor Wang. Now the puck played back in, and here's Owen Bruder sending it over to Wang. Wang muscling his way up into neutral ice. Now it got pressed along the wall, lost possession of the puck. Taken here by Evan Klimek. Now he's going to send it over toward Brody Berg. 7.5 minutes into the final period. It's Moorhead 9, Alexandria no score. Now a pass ahead. Here's a shot attempt by Aaron Anderson, and that got blocked. Never found its way on goaltender Will Arnold. Now another shot, and that one I think also got deflected. Now Evan Klimek is going to track it down here for Alexandria. He'll look to send it across, but it's intercepted here by Moorhead Zach Zimmerman. He's going to come the other way. Kept wide here by Aiden Schneiderhan, and Schneiderhan gains possession of the puck. Now he's going to send it ahead to Owen Klimek. Owen Klimek working into the Moorhead zone. He's got it along the left wall. Looking for some space. Now sends it off toward Schneiderhan, who tips it into the right corner. Moorhead's going to cycle it around, but the Spuds can't clear it out. Owen Klimek is going to send it over toward Aaron Anderson. Just a few seconds remaining on the Alexandria power play. We are now midway through the third period. Moorhead leading Alexandria by a score of 9-0. Now the Spuds back to full strength. Owen Bruder is going to play the puck up ahead. Cardinals changing personnel here as the Weston Nyberg, Isaac Bruder, Reed Putnam forward line gets onto the ice. Here's Nyberg taking a shot, and it's going to be saved here by the goaltender Will Arnold.
And Arnold even had to look a little bit to see if he had that. So real nice shot there by Nyberg to give everybody a little bit of a flutter of hope there.
Yep, Alexandria trying to dent the scoreboard for the first time tonight. It is 9-0 for Moorhead. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, big thank you to Quality Real Estate for bringing you the instant replays as they've been coming up periodically on our YouTube channel. Now Moorhead coming back the other way, now back at full strength. Here's the shot and a save made by Bruder. John Grammer taking that shot for the Spuds. So now we'll have a face-off coming up to Bruder's right. Looks like Grammer is joined on the ice by Joey Cullen and also Michael Herman. Defensive partners on the ice, Drew Corton and Brandon Mickelson. Mickelson gets the puck to Corton, back to Mickelson. Now around, and Joey Cullen takes the shot in traffic. Save made by Bruder. Puck swept back behind the net. Connor Wang trying to send it ahead. Now it's going to be battled for and cycled around by Wang into the direction of Isaac Bruder. Isaac Bruder cycling it around into the direction of Weston Nyberg. Now Moorhead has the puck back. Here is the Spuds' Joey Cullen looking for some room to take a shot. Now he sends it toward the net. It gets intercepted. Connor Wang unable to clear it out. Brandon Mickelson will keep it in as we're down to 6.5 minutes remaining. Now here's Isaac Bruder trying to work his way up. Now the pass intercepted, and taking it back behind the net is Will Draper. He's going to play it now to Isaac Bruder and out of the zone toward Nyberg, but intercepted here by Moorhead. Now it's going to be taken as defenseman Will Draper will carry it into the Moorhead end. He gets played wide to the left side. Now Harlan Ream, I believe, back on the ice, joined by Grady Olson and Benna Waldorf as your forward line combination. Under 6 minutes remaining. No scoring so far in the third period, which has been played under the mercy rule of running time. Now we've got a big scramble along the wall here. And Jeff, I think what you were worrying about earlier may be coming a little bit of fruition here in terms of some extracurricular activity after the whistle.
Yeah, and a couple of bigger hits have kind of fueled this. The cross checks. I mean, there's a couple of things going on here.
Yeah,
but
it looked like Brandon Mickelson and maybe Aiden Schneiderhan were looking to mix it up, or was it one of Schneiderhan's teammates?
I'm not sure. I couldn't see who the jersey was that went to the box either, because that, that might be, is that Berg? I couldn't tell. His jersey was pulled over his head.
Yeah, and now I think he's going to
kind of get it back.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through. I think that is Brody Berg who mixed it up a little bit, and maybe it'll be Brandon Mickelson going off for the Moorhead Spuds. So coincidentals for roughing here in the third period at the 12-minute mark. Estimated time of the penalties here.
And with the conversations here with the referees, it might take a good chunk of the 4:32 left in the contest to get this figured out.
Right, because the clock does continue to move. Moorhead leading Alexandria 9-0 in the Section 8AA quarterfinal. The Spuds will be hosting either St. Cloud or Bemidji in the section semifinals on Saturday.
And I'm really surprised that there's only 2 in there, because I think all 10 players, all 10 skaters were involved in that scrum in some way, shape, or form.
Meanwhile, Nick Schultz, the senior captain for Alexandria, and Max Cullen, one of the forwards for the Moorhead Spuds, engaging in some conversation, much more friendly tone there. Captain Evan Klimek will get involved in the confab as well. Maybe an opportunity, of course, for Evan Klimek and Nick Schultz. They will not put on the Alexandria jersey sweater again in terms of a game night competitive way after tonight.
Oh, that isn't Berg, because he's standing out there.
Oh, boy.
So we're sorry, Mr. Berg.
Yeah.
We couldn't tell. I mean, it looked like...
Well, I'm trying to look through the net, and then a pane of glass. I don't know if that's Aaron Anderson over in the box.
It's 20. Oh, it's Evan Klimek.
Okay.
Or 12. JP's trying to give us a...
Harlan Ream. So
okay, it was Ream.
We try to identify players without identifying their uniform numbers.
Because his uniform was basically inside out and over his arms.
Yes. And
so we apologize to the Berg family.
Yeah.
That wasn't him.
Nope. Brody Berg is very much out on the ice right now for Alexandria and will likely get some shift time. And now I think the clock operator has decided taking about a minute and a half off the clock is good enough. So maybe they were instructed by the officiating crew here. We're not gonna let this game die while we're discussing penalty situations here. So we don't know if a team is going to get a power play or not, but the clock has been stopped with 2 minutes and 54 seconds to go, and Moorhead comfortably in front of Alexandria by a 9-0 score. Alexandria is going to end its year at 11-14-1. Moorhead will advance its record to 22-3-1.
And the other thing you have to think about here, if you're Moorhead, is if, let's say these are ejections, that could mean the next game for them in the section tournament.
Yeah.
We're at least getting another added player into the penalty box for Alexandria, but I haven't seen anybody yet coming from the Moorhead bench, but I would assume there's going to be another player for Moorhead as well.
Yeah, now at this point, 2 minutes of penalty time has been put up on Alexandria. We don't know if any additional penalty time is going to be tacked on, so I think Moorhead's Max Cullen is, I think, wanting an explanation here.
And this is one of those situations where if you're the scorekeeper, you want to have like a yellow legal pad to write down everything that referee's talking about right now, too.
It's almost like a professor who's giving a lesson here, and you've got to take extensive notes on these.
Right.
And there might be a quiz later on, although it won't be the referees administering the quiz, but you want to make sure you have all the bookkeeping correct, and I would think that this complicates the bookkeeping a little bit. So we've got an official timeout here. Again, the clock stopped with under 3 minutes to go, and Moorhead leading Alexandria 9-0. I believe when the Cardinals do get set to resume play with the Spuds, they will have 4 skaters on the ice. Defenseman Aiden Schneiderhan, forward Brody Berg, forward Miles Breitzman, and also defenseman Nick Schultz, and goaltender Owen Bruder will be back there.
It does look like Moorhead's going to end up with the man advantage here, so it's probably a 2 and a 10 on Ream, I'm assuming.
So that would end up adding some.
Oh, no, here comes now one from Moorhead. I think they were just.
Yep, and I think it's the counterpart, George Arnold.
And
both players wearing number 12.
And it looked like Aiden Schneiderhan joined them in there too. So he was on the ice, and now he just went into the box. So,
all right, so
it will be 5-on-4 though. It looks like.
Right, so Moorhead's ultimately going to get a power play out of this. So we have Harlan Ream and Aiden Schneiderhan in the penalty box for Alexandria. George Arnold for Moorhead. All of these penalties, coming in essence, I guess the official time of the penalties would be 14:06 of the third period.
And Moorhead still getting more clarification. Okay, we're ready to go. Here we go.
So the Spuds will have a player advantage here, and then a little bit of a shove by Berg against Warner on the face-off, and the Cardinals clear it back the other way.
And now we don't start the clock.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. We just needed Jeff James with some direction there. Like, okay, let's. We've had enough stoppage here.
I'm like, how long do you want Moorhead to be on a power play?
Right, all night long, as Lionel Richie might say. But anyway, Alexandria does have for penalty kill, and now a big hit by Brody Berg. And it's going to be sent the other way. Berg and Miles Breitzman, Nick Schultz, and Connor Wang on the ice for the penalty kill, along with goaltender Owen Bruder. Here is a shot and a glove save there by goaltender Drew Corton. Corton on the ice along with Zach Devig, Michael Herman, John Grammer, and Evan Warner. As we're about to go under 2 minutes remaining in this game. Now I think Brody Berg is going to see.
I don't know if there's any room in there.
Yep, so he is going to go off as Alexandria will go a little more short-handed here. And I guess Brody's probably going to spend the remainder of the game on the or in the penalty box here, not on the bench. So Alexandria has just 3 skaters out there now, the one forward being Evan Klemick, and then defensemen Connor Wang and Nick Schultz.
And they got to get the penalty up, so that's the problem that we're waiting for. But at this point, it doesn't really matter because it's not going to come off.
Yep, 15:38 will be the time of the penalties. So the Moorhead Spuds with now a 5-on-3 power play opportunity. Here's a shot, and Bruder will make the save on Michael Herman's attempt there. And again, the clock continuing to roll with the mercy rule in effect. Moorhead unofficially now has outshot Alexandria in the game 39-6. Off the face-off, Herman's going to get it back now to Drew Corton. Corton around to Herman. Now a one-timer and a goal. And it's going to be defenseman Zach Devig getting the score for the Moorhead Spuds in the final minute of the game. So we'll see. I would guess that you'll have Michael Herman getting an assist. I think that will end up being a 5-on-4 power play goal there for Moorhead because the remaining penalty time went off. So that makes the score Moorhead 10, Alexandria nothing. And now we're going to have a scrape right at the end as the horn sounds. I guess Brody Berg wants to share a piece of his mind with a Moorhead player before the night wraps up. Devig will get the goal. George Arnold will get the assist. And this one has gone final. And Moorhead does hit double figures in the last minute of the game, scoring just once in the final period. And Moorhead prevails over the visiting Alexandria Cardinals by a 10-0 score. So with that, the Moorhead Spuds move on. Still have not lost a postseason game since March of 2020, or actually February of 2024. That year, Moorhead left the postseason early. In fact, I think Elk River may have handed Moorhead a loss in the playoffs that year, but Moorhead went 6-0 and winning the State Class AA championship a year ago. And the Spuds have started the 2026 postseason on a victorious note. Tonight's final at the Moorhead Sports Center reads the Spuds 10, the Alexandria Cardinals nothing. That's going to do it for our play-by-play. We do invite you to stay tuned. We'll enjoy some words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage, and then we'll return to the Moorhead Sports Center with the Jottner Motors postgame report after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
I'm a nurse at heart. I mean, I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people. Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community. As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
Moorhead Sports Center, the Alexandria Cardinals Boys Hockey team sees its season come to an end. Alexandria coming in as an underdog, and the Cardinals were hoping to be a giant killer, but for about a half a period, Alexandria hung right with the Moorhead Spuds, but once the Spuds were able to get their high-scoring forwards and other people into the scoring act, the goals came in bunch. Period. So that's in essence 17 minutes of time. Moorhead was able to go from a scoreless tie to an 8-0 lead, and Moorhead ends up winning by a final score of 10-0. Along with Jeff James and our videographer JP Bolin, I am DMAC Dave McClurg, welcoming you to our Jotner Motors post-game report. We will not be having any post-game interview tonight when we cover a team that ends its season with a defeat. We generally do not do post-game interviews, usually a pretty emotional situation. Now, the emotions might be a little bit different here, being the margin of defeat for the Alexandria Cardinals, but I learned a long time ago that generally players want to be with their teammates and their coaches back in the locker room after a loss that ends your season. And Jeff, again, you know, I think Alexandria came in tonight. I think the Cardinals were optimistic. They knew the task at hand was going to be pretty steep, but yet they came out on the ice, showed they could skate with Moorhead, with the Moorhead Spuds. Mm-hmm. But boy, Moorhead's a dynamite hockey team. I think we're going to see a team that represents this section in the State Class AA tournament, and I believe that John Ammerman's team is in a good spot. You know, I know that their goaltender, Will Arnold, will get tested more as the postseason goes on here. But, you know, what's to say that a couple weeks down the line on the second Saturday in January, or second Saturday in March, I believe it is, maybe the first Saturday. Don't know when the state hockey tournament wraps up, but Moorhead's definitely going to be a player if they're fortunate enough to get to state.
Yeah, they're going to be somebody to be reckoned with there, and this team's built, you know, honestly, to do what they did tonight. They are a very good hockey team, and, you know, they've shown it throughout the state. I mean, they've run into some other big teams, and, you know, but only 3 people have been able to figure out, you know, how to beat these guys. And they've went through a lot of, of some of the best programs in the state for a long time. And, you know, they're trying to cement, their state championship with another one, and I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I believe the rafters that are in front of us here as we broadcast on the west end of the Moorhead Sports Center, this banner looks quite lovely here, but I'm guessing that the fans of the Moorhead Spuds are probably thinking, we can make room for another one.
Right.
But they do have some work to do, and you know, the challenges will get a little bit more difficult as they go along. You know, whether it's Bemidji or St. Cloud that's going to visit on Saturday, they may be a little more of a formidable foe. Now, I believe St. Cloud was in here right toward the end of the regular season, and Moorhead ended up winning that game by an 8-0 score. Moorhead also had a shutout win against Bemidji, although that game was a little more close. I believe that game was played up at the Bemidji Community Arena earlier in the year. But, you know, if Moorhead comes out with a lot of determination and, you know, I think their regular season, you know, even though they took some losses, I think 2 of those were to Minnesota teams, Minnetonka and Rogers. Rogers, by the way, is entering the playoffs 17-0-1 in their last 18 games.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Moorhead would love to have another opportunity to compete against Rogers later on in the state tournament. Rogers has to get out of their section by beating Edina and some of the other teams in that section. So it's not a guarantee that the Rogers Royals will make state.
No, and you know, it's shaping up to be one heck of a state AA tournament. So with all the programs that have possibilities and have kind of come up in the last few years, it's going to be exciting to watch that. And you know, we'll be able to say, hey, we saw those guys, you know, because I definitely have no doubt that this team is going to be there in a few short weeks.
We will not go through a complete scoring recap. Again, the line score, Moorhead 4 goals in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third. Alexandria got shut out in its final game of the year. Alexandria would put, I believe, a total of 7 shots on goaltender Will Arnold tonight. Moorhead countered, I believe, with a total of 38 shots on goal for the contest here. The Spuds did have 13 different players that were able to score at least a point tonight. Titan Bergeson, the senior forward, leading the way with a 5-point night for Moorhead. He had the hat trick in terms of goals scored completed before the end of the second period. He would have a 5-point night to lead Moorhead, 3 goals and 2 assists. 3 of his teammates had 3-point nights for Moorhead. That included defenseman Brandon Mickelson, who seems to be a point-scoring machine of his own.
Yeah.
Mickelson now up to 54 points overall with a goal and 2 assists, so that kind of tracks along with his season stats. He now has 20 goals and 34 assists for that 54-point total. Joey Cullen had 2 goals and an assist tonight, so he's up to 33 points overall. And Evan Warner, who plays part of a pretty high-scoring second line for John Ammerman's team. Warner ended up with a 3-point night. No goals, but he had 3 helpers. So he now has 32 points on the year, including 14 goals and 18 assists. The Spuds had the hat trick for Titan Bergeson, and then Joey Cullen had a couple of goals for Moorhead, 1 in the first period and 1 in the second. And then you had 5 other players scoring a goal for Moorhead tonight. The Spuds, again, building a 4-0 lead, although that first period was scoreless until the 8:28 mark when the scoring started. And then from the 8:28 mark to the 11:12 mark of the second period, Moorhead accumulated a total of 8 goals. The Spuds were up 9-0 after 2 periods of play and would go on to win by a final of 10-0 tonight. This is People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, audio through the Voice of Alexandria app. We thank you for watching tonight's coverage on the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel. A big thank you to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of our Alexandria Cardinals sports play-by-play all throughout the 2025-26 school year. One more break, and then we're back to wrap things up from the Moorhead Sports Center after this timeout.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
It's the right time for a getaway. It's the right time for a getaway. Let's get away.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
Resorters Marine in Gas. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorters Marine and Outdoors in Gas.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Building. Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service.
But kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
We welcome you back one final time to our Jutner Motors post-game report for the KXRA radio listening audience. I guess that's an appropriate bumper to come out. I suppose we could probably run that at the end of every season. Rest in peace, Jim Morrison from the Doors, who left us many, many years ago. 10-0 the final. Moorhead defeats Alexandria on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard and other Section 8 AA boys hockey games tonight. 3 of the 4 games are now final. The game that is still going on is down at the Municipal Athletic Complex in St. Cloud. Joel Hoover, the terrific Bemidji sports play-by-play voice for the Lumberjack Radio Network, and I have been sending messages along via text throughout the night. Last score we had from the Municipal Athletic Complex was Bemidji leading St. Cloud in the third period by a score of 3-2. The winner of that game is going to be coming to Moorhead to play on Saturday in the Section 8 AA semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, St. Michael Albertville will host Elk River in the next round. St. Michael Albertville is the number 2 seed. Blank Brainerd tonight 6-0. While in Elk River, the Elks, the number 3 seed, defeated 6-seeded Roseau by a final score of 10-1. So we, as it turns out, have one reasonably close game in the Section 8 AA quarterfinal round, and then 3 others that have gone lopsided in favor of the home teams. Tonight's game at the Moorhead Sports Center ended up being the last for a number of players for the Alexandria area high school class of 2026. Hunter Haskamp being one of those players, although he did not suit up for the playoffs tonight, but he has been part of the team throughout the year. Also, congratulations to goaltender Brady Schluter, to forward Miles Breitzman, Also forward Bennett Waldorf. Also, we wanted to recognize defenseman Aiden Schneiderhan, and then, of course, the 3 captains of the Alexandria boys hockey team, Brody Berg, Nick Schultz, and Evan Klemick. And, you know, some of the storylines of that group of seniors, you know, Jeff, they ended up being part of the transition, you know, getting, you know, the near miss in their junior year, finishing second to Northern Lakes a year ago, and then unbeknownst to them in the spring finding out they would go into Class AA. And, again, you know, tough to lose to a game, but, you know, or lose to a team that may make another major postseason run. I believe the Spuds now have a playoff win streak of 7 consecutive games. So they've had other victims along the way.
Oh, absolutely.
So your thoughts on this group of seniors, what maybe impressions that they have made on you?
Yeah, just, I mean, they were able to do a lot in their hockey career. You know, this is, and we have to think back, this is the first time that these seniors have been put in this position. You know, we've usually been a 1 or a 2 seed, maybe as low as a 3 seed. I don't think they have, but this group of kids, they did something that not a lot of group of kids could handle, and I think they did it. I think they, you know, they could have whined and complained and said this is not fair, but everything that I heard from Coach Landon Olson is they worked harder than ever this summer, and they knew what was in front of them. But just a great group of kids, and, you know, yeah, I can tell you I don't want to be back in this building anytime soon just because we've seen two of our Alexandria teams' seasons end in this building. But it's one of those situations where you're going to take a lot of memories and a lot of good memories away from your high school hockey career, and hopefully this doesn't tarnish it too much for them.
And I think with this group of seniors, and they were kind of the leaders of a team, and I referenced it a little bit earlier in the night. The thing that I admire about this Alexandria boys hockey team is their ability to go to work. And, yeah, the chips might be down, but they never quit. At least that's the impression they gave me. Right. You know, we saw it against St. Michael Albertville. They're trailing 3-0 pretty deep into that hockey game, and then ultimately come back and, granted, St. Michael Albertville won on an overtime goal, but I think that was a sign that this is a team that's going to give 51 minutes and even, you know, in some instances give more than 51 minutes. And, you know, and I think what we saw 1 week ago tonight at Detroit Lakes, I think will be one of the highlights of the year. They took a team that finished ahead of them in the Central Lakes Conference that is going to be a contender in the Section 8A boys hockey tournament, that being Detroit Lakes. Came back from 4 goals down with under 8 minutes to go. Rallied probably the perfect rally that you could have to score 4 times, including 2 in the final minute to get that game into overtime, and then it ultimately ends up a 5-5 tie. And that will be one of the pleasant memories that I have about this Alexandria boys hockey team, that they did make the successful transition. And I think in some ways probably a learning year that, you know, the guys that will come back, you know, those juniors this year that become seniors next year, I think they'll realize the value of those section regular season games that they'll play. And, you know, they're going to get more of them, which is a good deal because, you know, we presume that Bemidji will be home and away next year, being a Central Lakes Conference member school starting in the next academic year. And then obviously the Cardinals will go home and away with Brainerd and St. Cloud. And I think that's part of the house where Alexandria can take care of business and probably needs to take care of business because it was terribly unfortunate that, you know, in the head-to-head meetings with St. Cloud and Brainerd, the Cardinals only went 1-3.
Right, and a lot of unknowns were answered this year. You know, what is it going to be like playing in this section? What is it going to be like? You know, we've had the taste of the Sartells and the Brainards and the St. Clouds, but there's a lot more out there. And now we need to go in and handle business when it comes to that. So, you know, it's hard to say that, you know, this season was a success, but I try and pick out things that were positive out of it. And I agree with you, what you said. And, you know, the work ethic of this team is definitely something that I will take from this season. So I appreciate the boys, and, you know, we've gotten a lot of, you know, fancy places to end our seasons at since we've been doing this, DMAC, but, you know, next year is another year.
No doubt about that. Jeff, it's been great to work with you all throughout the winter season for Alexandria boys hockey and girls hockey, and then during the fall season covering the Cardinal girls and boys soccer teams. Hopefully everything works out and everything can be in place where we get to reunite again in late August or early September for more Cardinal soccer and hockey in the next academic year. And again, I think, we're going to get that newest Central Lakes Conference member, the Bemidji Lumberjacks, in. And in my opinion, I think that's going to be a great addition to the conference. And it's going to be fun to have, more keen rivalries with Bemidji in the years ahead. But great working with you, and obviously we'll connect along the way. But enjoy the time before we get back together on the airwaves again.
Yes, you too, DMAC. It's always fun to work with you and JP and everybody back at the studio. So have a good night and drive safe.
Yes, thank you, and you as well. There is Jeff James, my broadcast partner for Alexandria Cardinal hockey coverage all throughout the 2025-26 winter season here on KXRA Radio and also through the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Congratulations to the Alexandria Cardinal boys basketball team clinching the outright Central Lakes Conference title tonight. Alexandria defeated Fergus Falls 88-49. My thanks to Russ Hinrichs for providing the score updates throughout the course of the evening. So we will feature the Central Lakes Conference champion Alexandria boys basketball team on the air 2 nights from now. That will be a regular season game for Brainerd High School. The Warriors hosting the Cardinals at 7:15. We will take air with the Jutner Motors pregame show Thursday night around 6:45. And because of the outcome of the boys hockey playoff matchup tonight, we're going to try to make some arrangements to do some Section 8AA individual wrestling on Saturday afternoon from Alexandria Area High School. We'll tell you more details in the coming days right here on our late media platforms, including KXRA Radio, with the additional information sharing on our social media platforms. Steve D has been our KXRA Radio studio engineer. My thanks to Jutner Motors for presenting our postgame report. Thanks as well to the other boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage for bringing you tonight's play-by-play. Again, the final in the opening round of the Section 8AA Boys Hockey Tournament. Moorhead prevails over the Alexandria Cardinals 10-0. For our videographer, J.P. Boleen, and my broadcast partner, Jeff James, this is DMAC, Dave McClure.